The last time that the STIHL Timbersports World Championship took place in Stuttgart is almost a decade ago, 2016. But the earth still trembles from the sounds of shattered wood. It was definitely one to remember. It's gonna be hard to fit into those giant footsteps. But trust me, just this once, we're about to take it to the next level. You do know what a home advantage is, right? So, Stuttgart is the home of STIHL. And the Porsche Arena will not rest until everyone, and I mean everyone, will be at the edge of their seats. So if I haven't been more than crystal, you shouldn't miss this.
Welcome back to where it all began. 1926, just down the road from here in Stuttgart, Germany, is where it all began. The STIHL Corporation, now 97 years later, we are back here in Stuttgart, Germany for these, the STIHL Timbersports World Team Championships 2023, and it's going to be an absolutely cracking night. My name is Matt Beadle. I'm your host for this evening. Thank you for stopping by. We are absolutely delighted to have you. I say we, of course, because I am not alone. I'm joined, as ever, by the very voice of Timbersports himself. Some say that if Tim Burton were to have a sequel of Edward Scissorhands, they would call it Troy Chainsaw Hands. He is, of course, the Canadian cooler, Troy Mannering. It's a pleasure to have you with us, mate.
Every time something new from you, Matt. It's crazy, but you know it's going to be a big event because Matt had 5 welcomes in his intro. So it's going to be bananas today, absolutely.
It's a biggie.
No doubt about it.
We are here in Stuttgart. We're in a studio just outside of the Porsche Arena. Porsche Arena, 6,000 absolutely crazy fans loving life there. What are we and they going to expect today?
Oh, boy. Well, first of all, this is the team competition. So the team competition uses the trophy format, which is relay style. It's quick, so you can't blink out there. This is going to go so quickly. And earlier on today, we had the time trials, and now we're coming into the last chance qualifier where only 4 teams of 9 will, 4 teams of 8, 7, 4 teams are going to make it out of the last chance qualifier into the round of 16. And then it gets really interesting because it's then elimination. So that means the 2 teams on stage will battle each other. The first team to finish their run will be the one that will move on to the next round. So the adrenaline ramps up, the speed ramps up, the times will get quicker, and we're going to see a lot of action on stage.
We are, and you can see that they're already experiencing action on stage. You can probably see just over Troy's shoulder there. There is a pyrotechnic show, and there's music playing, there's flags waving. They are absolutely loving it. So if you're new to this, do stick around. We hope that you're going to enjoy it. What we're going to do is we're going to go straight over to the arena with Sandy, who is our local German host, and of course, Florty to introduce the athletes. Here we go.
Florty!
Stuttgart, wo seid ihr? Wow. Wow. You guys look amazing. What an intro, Sandy. Ich hab's dir gesagt. Meine Stuttgarter, die geben Vollgas, oder? Du hast nicht übertrieben. Absolutely true, every single word you say. Absolut. Und das Schöne ist, Man sieht uns ja nicht nur in ganz Deutschland im Fernsehen, wo eh schon ganz Deutschland weiß, dass die Stuttgarter richtig Gas geben. Man sieht uns auf der ganzen Welt. Man sieht uns bei Sky in Neuseeland. Man sieht uns in Australien. Man sieht uns in Amerika. Und natürlich hier rund um mich herum in der wundervollen Porsche Arena. Ich darf erstmal meinen charmanten Mitmoderator vorstellen. Markus Floth, a.k.a. Flotti. STIHL Timbersports Urgestein. Auf der ganzen Welt ist er mit dabei, bei jedem Wettbewerb, jetzt bei der Weltmeisterschaft.
And just to finish this off, of course, we have to say hello to everybody in Canada, USA, New Zealand and Australia. Great to have you with us. And the man next to me, he was here 10 years ago for the STIHL Timbersports World Championship. He is amazing. He has the power of... If I just heard, I'm not allowed to tell all the stories about you, but let's just say he is absolutely fantastic. So please give him a very warm and very loud welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Franke, aka Sandy!
Flodi hat es gerade schon gesagt, das letzte Mal vor 10 Jahren. STIHL Timbersports Weltmeisterschaft 2013 in der Porsche Arena. Und das war schon so eine krasse Stimmung. Aber was ihr heute hier fabriziert, das ist nicht nur 10 Jahre später, sondern 10-mal geiler. Macht doch mal richtig Lärm und Applaus für euch selbst.
I'd also like to mention our DJ, all the way from Gothenburg in Sweden, up there on the top playing the fabulous tunes. Please give it up for the one and only Peter Wikström.
Und natürlich werden wir nichts ohne unsere wundervollen Experten, ohne unsere Kommentatoren.
And our experts, you're going to hear them every time we've got a competition going on. You're going to see them up on the big screen, on the big cube. And they are also fantastic because they're the absolute experts on STIHL Timbersports, almost as good as you.
Tja, was brauchen wir denn eigentlich gleich noch? Ja, wir haben ein tolles Publikum. Wir haben tolle Athleten, die werden wir natürlich auch gleich noch sehen. Aber es ist eine Weltmeisterschaft.
Was wir brauchen, ist Nebel. We need a bit of fog. How about that? You like fog? Is that something that gets you excited? It gets me excited every time because I know something is going to happen.
Floti, was war das für eine Frage? Mögt ihr Nebel? Ja, wir mögen Nebel!
No. Das hat mich nicht überzeugt. Mögt ihr Nebel? Do you like fog? They do, because it means something dramatic is going to happen, something exciting, something special.
That's it. Ja. Haben wir schon genug Nebel? Ich weiß es nicht, ist das genug Nebel? Ich glaube, so langsam schon. Denn ich möchte jetzt die gesamte Porsche Arena bitten, sich zu erheben. Bitte erheben Sie sich.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and stand if you can, because like every true world championship, we want to open this one with a national anthem.
Erheben Sie sich jetzt für die Nationalhymne des Gastgeberlandes der STIHL Timbersports Weltmeisterschaft 2023. Wir sind in Deutschland und die deutsche Nationalhymne jetzt von Linda J.
Danach lasst uns alle streben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hart. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit sind des Glückes Unterpfand.
Ein großer Applaus nochmal für Linda J. Wow, Porsche Arena. Das ist gut, das ist geil. Wenn ihr stehen bleiben wollt, bleibt stehen. Wenn ihr euch wieder hinsetzen wollt, setzt euch wieder hin. Wir haben eine Weltmeisterschaft, STIHL Timbersports World Championship 2023. Tja, Floti, was wäre eine WM ohne offizielle?
Nichts, denn ohne offizielle läuft nichts. So it is my great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the officials for this STIHL Timbersports Team World Championships, starting with our two global sports directors. Please make some noise for the one and only Mr. Spike Milton. He is accompanied by Global Sports Director Nathan Waterfield. And of course, we need our on-stage judges. So please give it up for Mr. Andrew Hall. Only one more judge missing, and that is Dr. Rich Hellett. These are the men you're going to see on stage, but Sandy, wir haben nicht nur auf der Stage, sondern auch behind the stage ganz, ganz wichtige Persönlichkeiten.
Erstmal muss ich sagen, wie geil ist diese Sportart eigentlich, wenn die Schiedsrichter so einen Applaus kriegen von der ganzen Halle. Das gibt's sonst nirgends. Ihr seid großartig. Floti hat es gerade schon gesagt. Wir sind natürlich hochgradig fortschrittlich und technisch perfekt ausgerüstet. Wir haben natürlich auch einen Videobeweis. Videoschiedsrichter gibt es auch. Kein Videokeller. Sie sind hinter der Bühne, in dem Fall in unserem Competition Control Center CCC. Und wir freuen uns, dass Dr. Jörg Kurzenberger, Jules Jansen, Radu Kasako und Bart Jansen diesen Job übernehmen. Dankeschön für eure Arbeit. Tja, der große Moment ist gekommen.
Ja, das heißt, wir müssen uns ein bisschen, glaube ich, hier aus der Gefahrenzone bewegen, denn
die starken Männer kommen, ja?
For the big man, it's time for the athletes. Deshalb nochmal die Frage, Stuttgart. Are you guys ready to meet the athletes?
Woohoo! Die Hauptpersonen des heutigen Abends und auch des morgigen Abends. Morgen geht es ja noch weiter hier, auch bei ausverkauftem Haus. Und du darfst anfangen, Floti, denn die Ersten sind
die Österreicher. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the team of Austria!
And then please welcome the team of Belgium, Team Belgien.
Look at these athletes approaching the stage. As announced, Team Austria first, followed by Belgium, who are giving high fives. And our third team, ladies and gentlemen, please shout and scream for the team of Canada.
Team Kanada bahnt sich den Weg durch die 6000 Leute der ausverkauften Porsche Arena. Und damit freuen wir uns jetzt auf das Team aus Tschechien, Team Czech Republic!
So much pride in that stride. Time to meet Allez les Bleus. Here is the team of France.
And now welcome Team Great Britain.
Porsche Arena, we are ready for the next team. Give it up for Hungary! Team Hungary!
Und damit kommen wir jetzt zu unserem nächsten Team. Team Ireland. So, Flotti, ich glaube, jetzt wird es gleich richtig laut. Ja, das habe ich doch schon gesehen.
Kann es nicht noch lauter sein? Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Team Italia!
Now it's time for Oranje Hoop Holland, Team Netherlands.
Oh wow, look at the pace of these guys. Our next flag approaching. Make some noise and give it up for the team of Norway. People singing and dancing, enjoying the stay here at Porsche Arena. So is the next team. Give it up for Red and White Poland!
Und jetzt einen großen Applaus für unsere Freunde aus Rumänien, Team Romania!
Sie haben heute hier schon richtig Lärm gemacht. A noisy crowd, please welcome the team of Switzerland!
Porsche Arena, are you ready for the Team Sweden?
Immer ein Team, mit dem man rechnen muss. Always a team to count on. One of the big favorites. Give it up for the team of the United States of America.
Tja, Floti. Das waren doch aber noch nicht alle, oder? Da fehlt doch noch was.
Ich bin kein großer Mathematiker, but I counted 17 so far.
We have 19.
That's right. You want to know why? Because now we want to present the team to beat. Take a look at the big cube.
Hands Australia!
The team to beat with the world record from 2018 in Liverpool, a time of 45:10.
We've got to get the win. That's the most important thing for Australia.
I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. The memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the balls in the place. And Australia repeats for a third time in a row as the team world champions.
Was für eine Mannschaft, was für Maschinen, what a team, the team to beat. Stuttgart, Porsche Arena, make some noise for the team of Australia!
Wow, was für eine Stimmung für ein phänomenales Team. Team Australia.
Dreimal in Serie haben sie den Weltmeistertitel geholt. Will they make it 4 in a row in Stuttgart? We will know tonight.
Maybe, but there is one more team. Wir sind in Deutschland, we're in Germany, and now we're coming to the host nation, Germany.
Team Deutschland macht aus, dass wir ein sehr junges Team sind und die Jungs alle sehr viel Bock haben und sehr, sehr heiß sind.
Wir haben sehr stark trainiert. Team Deutschland ist, ich glaube, so gut wie noch nie aufgestellt. Ich denke, wir haben alle bis auf die Zähne motiviert.
Wir freuen uns auf Team Germany!
Ist auf jeden Fall sehr besonders. Wenn du Freunde und Familie im eigenen Land dabei hast, beflügelt dich natürlich ungemein.
Team Germany!
Die Motivation ist eigentlich immer ziemlich hoch bei solchen Wettkämpfen, gerade wenn man Team Deutschland vertreten kann. Das ist natürlich immer was ganz Besonderes.
Listen to the arena going absolutely crazy for their local heroes here.
Wenn wir jetzt die Halle hinter uns haben, dann wird das natürlich nochmal ein anderes Gefühl sein, was uns nochmal ein bisschen mehr pusht.
Das ist überragend von Donny Martin!
Das wird gigantisch, die werden die Bude abreißen und wir versuchen es auch.
Holy smokes, folks, what a finish there!
And now, Porsche Arena, wave your flags, wave your hands and make some noise for Team Germany! Wo ist die Porsche Arena? Wo sind die Fans von Deutschland?
What an amazing appearance, but we all know life is not always full of joy. And very sadly, we had to say goodbye too early to one of the amazing and great personalities of STIHL Timbersports just a month ago.
Ja, es ist so, meine Damen und Herren, wir verneigen uns vor einem der größten Timbersport-Athleten aller Zeiten. Vor ziemlich genau einem Monat ist er leider Gottes verstorben. Wir trauern gemeinsam als Familie um Jason Wynyard.
Jason is a timber sports superstar. I mean, you could not literally be born into anything better than Jason Wynyard has been.
Jason Wynyard is our 9-time world champion.
He's just been so incredibly successful. He's an unreal athlete.
It's a very rare thing that you find an athlete as accomplished and as impressive as Jason Wynyard, who's also as humble as he is. He'll be the last person to tell you how great he is.
He's never, tell you how good he is. He's showed you how good he is. It's always, don't tell me, show me. And he showed everyone how good he is by winning Timbersports 9 times,
It's in the hundreds of titles that he's won, and that's incredible over the years.
For what he's put into the sport and what he's achieved is absolutely remarkable. And when you really know Jason, you'll know it's for the passion of winning in the sport.
I grew up watching Jason Wynyard all the time as a kid, watching him on television, competing in lumberjacking. And then when we would go out, my brother and I, and pretend to chop and stuff, I would always pretend I was him.
I remember watching him as a little kid, growing up watching him compete and just saying, I want to be like that guy.
Well, I've known Jason since I was about this big, and he would have been probably that big still,
I've known him since I was probably just about 8 years old.
He inspired so many young athletes as well as old. That's what makes him such a true champion and a great ambassador for STIHL Timbersports.
So, he's kind of like Michael Jordan in a sense of our sport.
Call him the legend of our sport, the icon. He's been kind of the Michael Jordan of timber sports.
He was the face of STIHL Timbersport, and he still is. He's just a legend. Yep.
He's really like an icon for this sport. I think he's done so much, and he does so much for this sport.
Jason is not just a person about the sport. For me, it's a big part of my life because he was the one of first trainers who bring me where I am now. So I'm very happy that I know this man and why I like him, why we are very good friends.
He's such a humble guy, and he's a family man. His family's important, and his friends are important.
As a person, Jason is an incredibly nice gentleman.
Jason's a gentleman, an absolute gentleman.
He would be Mr. Quiet. Big, gentle giant is what Jason has been and is still. He's evolved into a really professional athlete, but just a professional person, and he's a really good mate.
Yeah, he is a bit of a legend, Jace. He's a gentleman. He's a really nice family guy. Family means a lot. In New Zealand, family means a lot, and Jason's no different. And he's a very proud, humble man.
200% family man. He support and he do everything what he can for his family, like the father should do.
In loving memory of a true legend.
Jason Wynyard, und wir können noch weiter applaudieren, noch lauter bis in den Himmel. Das war das, was er am liebsten gehört hat. Für Jason Wynyard. Einen der größten Athleten, den die STIHL Timbersport Series je gesehen hat. Und mit diesem Applaus, der ist sicher angekommen, geben wir dann auch zurück im Studio. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Florty. What a wonderful, wonderful scene there. What an incredible film. Jason Wynyard, just 50 years old, an absolute legend of the sport. You knew him very well.
Yeah, he was absolute legend. One of the first guys I met. And it's an unfortunate loss for timber sports. But, we're going to celebrate Jason Wynyard this weekend for sure.
Absolutely right. And we're going to kick right off with the World Championships for the team event 2023. This is how the competition is set up. Here we go.
STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship format. In the team competition, teams of 4 each have to compete in a 4-discipline relay. The order of the disciplines during the team heat is as follows. First up, stock saw, followed by underhand chop, then single buck, and finally standing block chop. Each discipline is executed by a separate team member, and the subsequent discipline can only be started after the previous discipline has been completed. The overall time for a team only counts after finishing the last discipline. Starting a discipline too early will result in a 15-second time penalty. The team competition demands the utmost concentration, endurance, and precision, and the teams have to plan their efforts strategically over the course of the rounds. First, they have to show their skills in a time trial. Only the top 12 teams from the time trial will make it directly to the round of 16. The remaining slower teams from the time trial are relegated to the last chance round. In this round, they need to complete 1 heat, and only the 4 fastest teams from the last chance round advance to the round of 16. The rest are eliminated from competition. In the round of 16, the knockout phase of the competition begins. Here, the fastest teams from the time trial will face the slower teams in reverse order. The teams now continue to compete in the knockout system through the quarterfinals and semifinals. The losers of the semifinals will fight for the bronze medal in the small final. After this, the top 2 teams will compete one more time to see who takes the Team World Championship title.
So, if you didn't catch all of that, it means that these were the top 10 fastest teams in the time trials this afternoon. All of those automatically booked themselves a place in the competition proper today. The bottom 7 teams that you see here, 7 teams that you see here did not. They will have to go again in the so-called last chance. We're going to have 4 heats. We will have 4 winners of those heats, which will take us through to the main competition. So, this is how it worked out. The time trial teams were as follows. 19 of them in total. And then United States, New Zealand, Australia, Czech Republic, Canada, Poland, Switzerland, France, you can read, Germany, Sweden, Belgium, Italy, all qualified. The bottom 7 teams you see there will go into the last chance. That'll give us 4 heats: Romania, Netherlands, Australia, Hungary, Ireland, Great Britain, and Norway. In fact, Romania will end up being in a heat on their own. Now, that doesn't mean that they are not competing against each other. Maybe you could explain the system for that.
Of course. So in this last chance qualifier, it's again another type of a time trial. So these guys are still battling against the clock in this particular round here. So it's the top 4 teams from this last chance round. So only 4 of the 7 will make it into the round of 16. The problem here is those 4 that do make it out of here are going directly against the top 4 teams from the qualifier earlier on. So they've got a tough job and a tough road ahead of them to get into a further round past the round of 16. But the first thing we're going to focus on here today is that round of 16 and to see who manages to get out of it. And our first team on stage is going to be Romania. And by virtue of there being an uneven number of teams, one team will inevitably have to go on stage by themselves. And that is Romania, that's going to set the stage for us for our team competition this evening.
Indeed. So, we are seeing the first athletes come up on stage. As Troy rightly said, there won't be a second team on stage. Sometimes that leads to a bit of a strange atmosphere. You know, you don't have that push behind you, do you? And we are kicking off then tonight's proceedings with the first heat of the last chance. That will see Romania go up on stage on their own. There will not be a competing nation. Remember, of course, they're playing for times, not for the competition, right?
Absolutely correct. So here it's about the time, and obviously the audience in the arena here today will have to help the team along because there's no other team on stage
they'll
with
do
them.
that, definitely.
So the adrenaline just isn't quite there as a team being on stage by themselves. So they're going to have to really work hard in order to try and navigate through this. They struggled in that time trial with a disqualification because they went over the allotted time to finish this round. So they really have to work it. They have the skills. They have the guys there. That's definitely the case. So it's just about making sure they're really clean on each of the 4 disciplines on stage. And we're going to start things off with the stock saw.
So good luck to the first team competing today. That is Romania, and in Romanian, I believe, good luck is Norok. So Norok to all of you 4 on stage. Here we go, heat number 1. They're just warming up their saws. They're just making the last minute preparations here, going through that final routine before we hear the call from the referees.
The tension is mounting, and this is the problem here right now, is because they're taking so much time to get to that point. They're on stage, they're waiting for the warm-up. Your sauce command from the referees. The nerves are definitely growing, and the tension really mounts in a situation like this because you just want to go. You just want to start cutting, and they got to wait.
Test.
I think the referee, Andy Hall, is ready to go. Good luck to all of the competitors on stage. This is heat number 1 of the last chance. This is Romania.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws.
Okay, they'll probably be looking for a time somewhere around the 1 minute mark at least to make any kind of impact here into the last 16.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, so this is a critical part here for these guys. They want to get a nice clean cut to start things off, and this is looking very good right off the hop. Going straight over to the underhand chop here. This is where Romania struggled a little bit on the time trial, so they're going to try and get through here quickly. There's been a little bit of switching around in the team. Nice transition over to the front side here as they are really going to try and get through this block quickly, and it's looking much better this time as compared to the time trials. A little bit of a sticky axe right there, but he seems like he's going to get through here fairly quickly. Come on, let's make some noise here for Romania. It's looking very good.
Yeah, there he is. He's
this
through.
is much better. This run is so much better than in the time trial. Onto that single buck, the 2 meter long cross-cut saw. You want to keep that thing going, keep it flowing, keep it moving, and he's doing it exactly as planned. It's
again so much better than the time trial, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic run here so far. Now our time stopped briefly there at 54 seconds, but they've just gone past the minute mark, so this is absolutely an improvement from the time trials earlier on. Moving over to the other side cleanly. Now at 115, that second side is a bit of a dastardly one. As you can see, a few chips hanging there. Getting lots of support from the background, lots of support from the audience as well. I like to hear that kind of stuff.
Just a couple more drivers here. Come on, my man. Finish it off there, son.
2 more should do it. Oh, it's going to be a sticky wicket there,
and
he's got it. 140.38, so that's a time. That's going to be a tough one to move on with, though. 140.38 is their unofficial time for the moment. Just waiting on the updates.
It might, at first glance, look like a tough time, but that is more than 20 seconds better than they went this afternoon in the time trial. So a great performance there to start the evening off for Romania. We're going to have to wait and see, of course, what the times are like in the other 3 heats. They will have to wait patiently now to see if their time is good enough to make it into the last 16.
It's also a tough position to be in, the first on stage, the first team to get things going in our live show this evening. So yeah, that's a lot of pressure on these guys, especially after what happened earlier in the time trials.
Okay, congratulations. The time is good.
So there is the confirmation from our judge, Andy Hall, that the time is good. There were no infractions, so that score will go on the board. It's been confirmed at 140.15, which means that Romania have given themselves a chance. You can't do anything more than that, can you?
Nope, they've done what they need to do. They got on stage, they improved on their let's call it disastrous disqualification round earlier on from the time trial. So they've done a good job here. You know, a couple of small mistakes here and there, but they can be definitely given kudos for the effort they put in here on stage in this last chance qualifier. And now it's just up to the other teams to see what they're doing.
Particularly the single buck was faster today, this evening, wasn't it? This afternoon, that was particularly slow, and also the standing block shot was slow, wasn't it? Those two much improved in comparison to this afternoon.
Yeah, we saw that single buck get stuck 4 or 5 times on that run, so that was really a big time killer for them.
So we're back in the Porsche Arena here, 6,000 people sold out in downtown Stuttgart, Germany. I must confess that I popped into the arena just shortly and picked up a bit of atmosphere. It is absolutely rocking in there. So we see the two teams setting up their machines, everything that they need to engage on this, which will be the second heat of the last chance.
So Austria in this one up against Ireland.
So this is heat number 2. This is Austria going up against Ireland. We will see Halmer, Dallingen, Laya and Kugler for Austria, and it will be Ryan, Thompson, Cloger and Fitzpatrick.
There we see Manuel Halmer setting up on stock. He's going to be the man to start things off for us, I believe. Or is he setting up on that single buck? I couldn't see. But I believe he was on stock saw.
So the Irish out there, Goniri on Borja Lat. I'm reliably informed that means good luck.
I'm glad you said it, not me, because I would have butchered it badly. But there we see Seamus Ryan setting up. He's got his orange headphones on as we get ready for Austria versus Ireland. Should be a good one. And remember, these guys are trying to beat the time of 1:40 that was just established by Romania.
Field look as well. Good luck to the Austrians. This is Austria in red going up against Ireland in green.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice pull by both Seamus Ryan and Manuel Halmer. Halmer wobbled a little bit as he got onto the block, so Seamus Ryan had quite a bit of a quicker cut there. Oh, well, no. Halmer came through pretty close to the bottom of that cut, even Steven with Seamus Ryan. Now we move over to Gunther Dahlinger for Austria on the underhand against Gavin Thompson. Both of them moving over to the other side of their block. Big chips coming off of that block there for Gunther Dahlinger.
Seems to be slowing up a little bit there, Dahlinger.
Yeah, that second side, but he's clean through, and now moving over to Josef Laya, the best mustache in the business, as Gavin Thompson just finally cutting through there, and now he's going to send it over to Dara Klahar, and he's starting on single buck, but it's Josef Laya already clean through. And now to the big man, team captain Armin Kugler for Austria.
Multiple-time Austrian champion here. Can he finish it off in a time good enough to get him through to the last 16?
It's looking good for both of these teams at this point. Ireland just getting on to the standing block at 1:05 and change. And Austria's Armin Kugler finishes off their time at unofficially 1:11.28. That was a nice clean run for Austria. So that will get them a spot at the moment. Let's see how Ireland does on the second side of their standing block with Patrick Fitzpatrick. A couple more drivers here as he's got that thing wiggling and waggling. He needs to be under 140 to beat the Romanian side here. Let's see if he can get through it. He's trying to put the power in. He's got a bit stuck. Oh! And he's done it in 138.76.
What a finish.
Oh, just by the hair of his chinny chin.
Celebrations from the Austrian team. They deserve to be happy. Your time of 1:11.28 will almost certainly see them through to the round of 16. Ireland just pipping Romania under 140 with a time of 1:38.76. Good timber sport in there on stage.
Let's not give these guys the pass just yet, though, because there are still 2 more heats. That means 4 more teams that could theoretically be faster than those teams on stage. It's not over yet, folks. So, yeah, there's still a couple more heats to go. But that was a good run for both those teams, and that means Romania is in really a tough spot right now.
Okay, congratulations. Both times are good.
There is the confirmation. 8 fists held aloft and high fives all round. A good performance. Both teams happy with those times. It's just wait and see now. I think Austria can almost certainly consider themselves packing their bags for the round of 16. But Romania and Ireland might be made to sweat. It was a bit of a sticky start for Austria, but they seemed to get smoother as they went along.
Well, I saw this as first because it looked like there was a bit of a bobble for the saw for Manuel Haume, but then he was very quick after he got into the wood. He had a really nice, smooth cut through the wood. He has a good feeling for the saw. He obviously heard and felt the way the saw was running perfectly, and he was fast through. Seamus, who had actually a really good start, was quick in the first part of the wood, but Manuel managed to catch up, and the two of them dropped their cookies at more or less the same time. And here you see Josef Leier up against Dara Klahar, and yeah, the two of those guys really went on it in the single bucket. Seamus Ryan in the background there, absolutely giving it to Patrick Fitzpatrick, trying to get him to push as hard as he can, but Armin Kugler, just such a consistent top athlete.
Look at this. He looks terrifying.
He's
I
terrifying.
can tell you, dear viewer, he's an absolute gentle giant.
Yeah.
But that frame of his, you know, he comes down from so high. He's got gravity on his side, hasn't he?
Well, he's a big man. I mean, he's 198, I think, tall. So, like, he's a very big boy. And, you know, to look at him, you might go, oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, athlete, sure, maybe, why not? But you cannot underestimate that guy. He is fantastic.
And we are ready for heat number 3 here in the last chance of the Team World Championships 2023. We are going to see Norway with a personal best time of 1:19 go up against the Netherlands, who have a personal best of 1:35. The Netherlands going up here in orange on stage right. You're looking at the Norwegians in red.
The Netherlands actually bested their personal best from earlier on in the day, so their personal best is now 1:17.60. So they've actually stepped ahead in the tail of the tape on Norway. So it's going to be an interesting battle here between these two, and I think they're pretty evenly matched up. I can't really say it's a flip of the coin on this one to see which one of these two teams will step into the next round. Will it be Team Netherlands? Will it be Team Norway? Both absolutely possible, but it's coming down to a little bit of luck, and yeah.
So we're going to go see Gevers, Leerhagen and Zunsterby go for Norway, and we're going to see De Beer, Knoll, Van Drielen and Terpstra for the Netherlands.
Warm up your swords! Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Elko De Beer with a really good start for the Netherlands. Bart Givers for Norway, also nice onto that stock shaw. Both of them dropping the cookie at the same time. Over onto the underhand, I do believe that's Ole Magnus Sulja Berget, not 100% sure there, but for underhand chop on Norway's side, or Netherlands side, it's Redmer Knoll. And Redmer looking pretty good on that second side.
He's through already,
And he's through already. This is looking very good for the Netherlands. A little bit of a struggle on the second side for Norway, moving over to Ole Ivar Leerhagen for the single buck. Rick van Drielen doing it for the Netherlands. There you can see Rick getting into it. He's got a good line going there. He's getting tipped to knuckles on that saw. Ooh, a bit of a sticky wicket for Ole Ivar Leerhagen for Norway, but he's through. And now it's going to come down to the standing block chop. Ben Terpstra up against Vebjorn Sonsteby. And it's Sonsteby moving over to the other side.
This is going to be close.
2 drivers ahead of Ben Terpstra, so Ben's got his work cut out for him on the second side, but did Vebjorn Sonsteby cut too deep? Oh no! What a great job for Norway, 1:14.01. And it's coming close for the Netherlands, and that is Ben Terpstra with a 1:21.04. So right now, Austria is in the lead, Norway in second place, and the Netherlands is in third. Ireland's on the bubble in fourth with 2 more teams to go in 1 more heat, and that is going to be Hungary, Great Britain coming up next.
So that is the classic situation here at Timber Sports. It's not about winning the heat, it's about the time you set. So it's very possible that both the teams that we've just seen here, Norway and the Netherlands, might go through. As it stands, second and third in the last chance, as you said, Troy, with just Hungary and Great Britain to go.
Just waiting for the guys to come down into the decision zone with Andrew Hall.
Okay, congratulations. Both times are good.
So the double thumbs up aloft by Mr. Hall. The judge confirms that Norway and Netherlands will both put a time on the board. Austria currently the fastest last chance team at 1:10.98. Then Norway 1:13. Netherlands with a time of 1:20, and then we've got Ireland and Romania currently picking up the field with times of 1:38 and 1:40 respectively. So Hungary and Great Britain are going to have to go faster than 1:38.47 to make it through to the round of 16.
Correct, you are.
Dismissed that Red McNull, didn't he?
Absolutely. That is the best description there is. You're dismissed, block. He just
You're
stepped
out.
off that, and that was that. So, I mean, he did his part, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Red McNull was on board with getting that thing done. But look at these drivers here from Bjorn Sonsteby. I mean, he was a man on a mission, and that last driver was so incredibly clean.
Just spanked
fantastic.
it away, didn't he? All right. So this is my team, Great Britain, going up here against Hungary. Shortly, I bumped into them on the way to the dining hall earlier this afternoon. Great boys, looking forward to giving themselves a second chance here. And this is heat number 4 of the last chance. This is very much exactly the last chance. This is Hungary going up against Great Britain. We're going to see Jusko, Struble, Juhász, Bocso going for Hungary, and we're going to see George Spencer, Robert Chatley, Redmond and Penlington for Great Britain.
All right, so
both times national records very close. In fact, Hungary's a 1:19 and Great Britain's personal best stands at 1:02. They will both need to get closer to those times if they have a chance of making it through to the round of 16. 1:38.47 is the time to beat for both of these times. Keep a very close eye on the clock, dear Timber Sports fans.
Now, it doesn't show it here, but there was a 15-second penalty on Great Britain because of an incomplete cookie. George Spencer was cutting paper out there instead of blocks.
Okay,
so this time, hopefully, he'll have his lineman a little bit better. I talked to him about it earlier on, and all he could do is...
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, this is a very nice start by Jusko and George Spencer. Let's have a look over at George's block. Hopefully he's got a nice cookie, and he does. Thin to win this time with a little bit more girth than the previous time around. As we move over to Rob Chatley and Bence Struble. Rob Chatley doing it for Great Britain. Bence Struble for Hungary, and Chatley's over to the other side of his block. Quickly, Bence Struble right there, though. Oh, look at those chips flying away from that block. Look at how accurate his cuts are as well. Beautiful. And there you can see István Juhász. Watch his style here. It's absolutely
so quick,
bananas.
isn't
You can see the difference in the two styles. István Juhász going crazy with those quick cuts. Meanwhile, Tom Redmond opting for those long, clean strokes that are usually super efficient. But hey, this situation for István Juhász works very well.
Hungary currently just ahead.
Glenn Penlington on the standing block now with Zoltán Bocso. Glenn Penlington moving over to the other side. This looks like it might be a good time for Great Britain as he's getting a lot of support from the rest of his teammates. Zoltán Bocso on the second side of his block. It looks like a bit of a sticky one for Glenn, but he's done it in 1:10.14. And Bosho is not too far away from it either. He's got to get a couple of up drivers to clear up some of that material, and then a down driver to get it through. And there it goes at 121.29. Let's take a look what that looks like here. Oh my goodness!
It's good enough for both of them.
So it's
I beg your
Great
pardon,
Britain.
it's not. No, Hungary have just slipped out. It means that Great Britain, Austria, Norway, and the Netherlands will take their place in the round of 16.
So this is, of course, still unofficial until we get the thumbs up from our stage judge in the competition zone there, or in the decision zone, excuse me. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Great Britain, Austria, Norway, and the Netherlands moving on to the round of 16, eliminating Hungary, Ireland, and Romania from competition for the day.
Okay, congratulations. But times are good.
So, celebrations for the Brits. Their time of 109.76 is definitely going to be good enough. Although it was a strong time and faster than Ireland, the 121 that Hungary put on the board will sadly not see them go through the last 16. So we're going to say goodbye to Hungary, Ireland, and Romania. Thank you to all of the athletes and all of the support teams. But enjoy the rest of the show. All of you fans from those countries. The Brits, Austrians, Norwegians, and Netherlands are going through.
And it was only 0.04 of a second that separated the Netherlands and Hungary. So, I mean, that's how close it was.
Wowee. That is how close the margins are here at Timber Sports. So the Brits got a similar time without the time penalty this afternoon. So it seems like they're roundabout in their ballpark, right?
Yeah. You can see here, just the guys really going for it. And Great Britain's Rob Chatley was right on point here, getting deep into those. The István Juhász, though, his style on the single buck is so unorthodox. You know, this is a saw that's meant to be used with the entire 2 meters length of it. He's probably using about 1 meter to 1.25 meters to get through that block, but it works for him. You know, whatever works, do it. You know, don't fix a running system, as they say. So there we see it. It is going to be Great Britain, Austria, Norway, and the Netherlands moving on to the round of 16. And then when we get into the round of 16, that's where we have the elimination heats. And this is where it gets really, really exciting, Matt.
Oh, yes, it does. Indeed, it does. So the round of 16, as the title suggests, is all about the best remaining 16 teams in the world here. We're in Stuttgart in the Porsche Arena for the World Championships. So the round of 16 is confirmed. We're going to see 8 heats in total. France, Germany will be the first, then Canada, Italy, Poland, Belgium, Switzerland, Sweden, United States, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Britain, Austria, Australia, and New Zealand. Norway will be competing for a place in the quarterfinals. So France, Germany, they have last performed this afternoon in the time trials. They'll go up against each other, but there'll be no love lost here, will they? They know each other inside out, don't they?
Absolutely, and these guys have all had time to rest. They haven't had to battle through this last chance qualifier, so they'll be fresh and ready to go.
So looking at the way that the computer has drawn the heats, Norway have just gone. We'll get a nice long break there.
Yeah, but they're not going to have an easy one up against New Zealand.
Well, no, exactly. Ones to watch out for here, guys. Australia, New Zealand, Germany very possibly, and the United States were red hot this afternoon. France, Germany. So tell us about the Germans here. The crowd are loving their local boys. Do they stand a genuine chance of challenging for the title today?
Absolutely, and they've got Peter Bauer as their team captain. He's a man with pedigree. He knows exactly what needs to be done out there. Danny Martin, of course, has been around the sport for a long time. He knows the motor saws better than anybody.
Great guy as well, isn't
Absolutely. You know, Christoph Lang, we saw him on the single buck earlier. He's very adept at that particular discipline. And, of course, Danny Fielwert is going to step in this particular situation on the standing block chop as their hook or their kick at the end. So we'll see how it lines up. But let's not forget, we have Pierre Puy-Barret, Loïc Voisson, Alexander Maurice, and Adrien Coteau for the French, who have been really, really solid. We saw some great times from them earlier on, so we'll see how this heat battles out. And it's going to be a really important one, too, because as I mentioned, it is elimination now, so the winner of the heat moves on to the next round, and the loser is eliminated from competition for the day.
Indeed. Is it unfair to say that France are a one-man team with Pugh Barret?
No, not at all. They've got such a strong group of guys. Now, you could have said that maybe 5-6 years ago.
Right.
Pugh Barret was the guy that was leading the charge for them, but now they've got Loïc Voisson. He's a fantastic young athlete that's come out of the rookie ranks a few years ago. They've got Alexander Maurice, who we've been watching for a little while, who's really stepped up to the next level. So it's definitely a possibility for these two teams to really make headway in STIHL Timbersports here.
All right, this is what it's all about. There are 363 days a year when we just kind of have to sit around and wait, and then there are 2 days where we finally get to have the Timbersports World Championships. This is where the tournament proper begins. These are the 16 best nations in the world in this sport, and we're going to start with heat number 1, France against the local team, Germany. And we're going to kick off the round of 16 with heat number 1. This is France going up against Germany. We're going to see Courteau, Maurice, Pugh Barret and Voisson going up against Bauer, Martin, Lang and Vielwert for the home nation, Germany.
Danny Vielwert stepping in on the standing block chop there. He is stepping out of the rookie ranks this year and joining the team on stage here today, as we see the last-minute checks of the saw placements for the teams and getting everything ready to go. There you see Pierre Pugh Barret, always concentrated, always ready to go, and you can never underestimate that man. And when you put him on the single buck, you know you're going to have a good run every single time. Danny Martin right there for Germany, making sure that he is ready to go on that underhand chop. And he is focused, and he absolutely, I mean, he is so intense as a competitor.
He's so focused, isn't he?
So focused, and he wants to win. He wants to win. He wants to drag everybody into the winner's circle with him. So, you know, he is really pushing this team, and along with Peter Bauer, we should be good to go with these guys here. Let's see how it rocks down.
Okay,
Indeed.
gentlemen, warm up your swords.
So this is France in blue going up against Germany in black.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So great start by Adrien Courteau and Peter Bauer. Peter Bauer looking very good here, but it looks like Adrien Courteau might be a hair faster. Oh, just by maybe one driver on the underhand chop as we move over to Alexander Maurice.
Maurice is quick there.
Yeah, he's a diminutive man, but bam, he can really hit that block. And he's moved on to the other side, about a half driver, maybe a full driver ahead of Danny Martin as they both battle hard on that second side. Who's going to get through there first? It's going to be Danny Martin. Oh, that was very close though. It was very, very close. Now it's going to be a telltale one here. Is it going to be Christophe Lang, great on that single buck, or is it going to be Pierre Pugh Barret? As I told you, Pugh Barret is good, but this day it was Christophe Lang a little bit better. Moving over to Danny Vielwert. The pressure's on that young man, and he is going to be enjoying every minute of it. Looks like he's going to be moving over to the other side, a half stroke behind Loïc Voisson. A little bit of a sticky wicket there for Loïc Voisson. It's going to be close here between these two teams. Which team will go out?
I think Voisson might be catching up.
Oh, it's going to be really close. Danny Vielwert's getting there. Loïc Voisson's close. He's got to wiggle it. And it's going to be, who's it going to be? Oh!
It is France!
It's France with 112.47. And it was just half a drive, one drive behind with Germany at 116.17. Oh, man, that's a heartbreaker for the home nation there. And France will move on to the next round.
Germany were absolutely dominating right up to the last discipline, the standing block chop there. France with Voisson in the last leg, just pulled it out of the bag there. We are being told that there is an investigation for the French team, so there might have been an infringement. The judges, the referees will be checking that as we speak, and it's regarding that cookie there.
Oh, it's an incomplete cookie. It's very close at the bottom. The judges are going to be taking a close look at that to see if they can complete the cookie. It's a little bit of a puzzle situation there. Rich Hallett looking closely at it with Andy Hall. So they want to make sure this is absolutely fair, and if any part is missing, then they will disqualify the team. So let's see what is said here. It's going to come down to the bits and bobs.
So
This
if
is how
the
close this
cookie
is.
can be completed using that puzzle technique, then they are safe.
Yes.
If not, there'll be a 15-second penalty, right?
Nope, they'll be eliminated by a DQ.
Wow,
And that means Germany will win.
this could be hugely decisive here. The Germans waiting on tenterhooks for the result. We will get the decision in the decision zone momentarily.
Okay, so we made a video check for Team France for an incomplete dish. However, the winner is Team France.
Wow, drama here in the
goodness.
very first heat of the round of 16. France with a slightly quicker time. Then there was the check from the referees. But as you saw, they got the green light. After all, there was desperate disappointment in the faces of the German athletes there.
I mean, Germany was fantastic. They were right there with them. In fact, they even led at one point after the underhand chop. It was looking really good. Danny Martin was great. So Danny Fieldbad at the end on the stunning block chop had a good run. He was just slightly ahead of Loïc Voisin, but Loïc Voisin was just a little bit faster.
So we can go over to the arena with Sandy, who's going to conduct an interview with the German team. Hey, Sandy.
Ja, das war so eine knappe Entscheidung. Es war super, super knapp. Kurz waren die Franzosen vorne, dann wieder ihr, am Ende die Franzosen wieder. Dann gab es noch Überprüfung durch die Judges. Was geht in euch vor?
Ja gut, man ist ein bisschen enttäuscht natürlich, aber wir haben alles gegeben. Ich denke, wir waren mit dabei gewesen und ja, war ganz knapp. Am Standing war es einfach ein bisschen, ja, der Danny wollte viel, er ist motiviert und ja, aber wir stehen hier zusammen, gewinnen zusammen und jetzt haben wir verloren.
Und morgen geht es ja dann noch weiter für Danny. Tja, wie ist das trotzdem hier vor heimischem Publikum zu sein, auch wenn man verloren hat?
Das Publikum ist krass, also es ist wirklich, Entschuldigung, dass ich sage, geisteskrank, ihr seid übelst krank, laut, geil, ich hoffe, dass es morgen genauso ist. So.
Das ist es. Dankeschön, toll gekämpft und ein Riesenapplaus für Team Germany.
So he asked how they felt that they'd unfortunately gone out in the first round. He said, of course, we're disappointed, but we were delighted to be here. We were proud of our performance. And he said, I thought it was a really lovely line. We win together and we lose together as well, which was a lovely way to put it. And then he thanked the incredible crowd that are supporting him here in Stuttgart.
It is an incredible crowd. There's no doubt about it. I mean, 6,000 strong in the Porsche arena here. And we've already seen drama on the first heat. So
I mean,
it
that's
only
just crazy.
bodes well for the rest of the day.
Well, exactly. I mean, you get right into it with referee checks and incredible times, and we're seeing everything. We've had one heat. It's nuts.
The first heat, and it's bananas.
Absolutely
So it's a gong show
crazy.
already, and that's what we like to see.
All right, we're going to go to the next heat. Here we go. Let's see if it's as crazy as the first.
Or maybe not.
I was reliably informed that we would see the heat. Here we go. There's the Porsche Arena again in all its glory, all 6,000 of the fans. We can see Florty and Sandy up on the big screen there doing their thing, keeping everyone ready to go here. So we're going to see heat number 2 here. This is going to be a very interesting one. This is going to be Poland going up against Belgium. So, confirmation there of the second heat of the round of 16. This is Poland going up against Belgium. We're going to see Grunwald, Dubicki, Kaczmarek, and his son, Simon Grunwald, going up against Jacobs, Martens, Cuvelier, and Van Remdok. My apologies, I made a mistake. It is, of course, brothers up on the stage there for Poland. Poland on the left in white and red, going up against Belgium on the red. In the red, on the right. Thank you, gentlemen, for wearing very similar shirts.
Yeah, just looking at this, the Polish team, so we have Mikołaj Grunwald and Simon Grunwald, the brothers, on stage. We also had earlier on the father of the Grunwald boys out there.
That was the reason for my mistake.
So there are 3 Grunwalds, so all you have to do is learn 3 names and you've got the entire team for Poland. And we have
How
as well,
proud Mr. Mum.
Yeah. And you got to know that, that she's out there watching these guys and just going crazy at home. We've got two talented young men, a talented dad. And let's not forget you have Christian Kaczmarek out there along with Mika Dubicki. This is a very formidable Polish team.
Warm up your swords! Athletes ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So a very nice start on that stock saw by Nikolai Grunwald and Koen Jacobs for the Belgium side. And it's going to be the Belgium side moving over to the underhand chop quickly. But Mika Dubicki, that doesn't look like Mika Dubicki on the underhand chop for the Polish team. I have to see that again, but it's Koen Martens for Polish side. No, it's Simon Grunwald on underhand chop. It looks like Mika Dubicki is going to be bringing up the backhand on the standing block. Now moving over to Robin Cuvillier for Belgium, looking very good here along with Christian Kaczmarek. He's deep into that cut. He might get down to the bottom first. He is, and now it is going to be Mika Dubicki. They've switched positions on us, and not to keep it confusing or anything, it's not like we can
just
mistake
Mika Dubicki
and Simon Grunwald, but Dubicki quick over to the other side. Camille van Remdonk now onto his block, and this young man for Belgium is going to be the future of timber sports for them. But Mika Dubicki is just a beast, as he is almost done with that block, and he is so done with it, he sent it out into left field. Camille van Remdonk getting support from his teammates as he's on his second side. You can see this young man, just 17 years young, and he's an absolute talent. Look how clean those cuts are from him. His accuracy is on point as he is going to be close to getting through. Swings it one last time, and there is the time of 1:29.3 for Belgium. Unfortunately, the times are not important in this particular situation, so Poland will win that one and move on to the next round.
It's all about winning at this stage, and the winners of that heat were Poland. Congratulations, Team Poland. That is, of course, providing there are no infringements from either team. Handshakes, a lovely sign of the sportspersonship that we see here in timber sports. Fantastic reactions from the Belgians. Commiserations to Belgium, who will not go through to the next round, but we will be seeing Poland in the quarterfinals.
A lot of Belgian fans here today. You know they put on a show, and you know that Camille van Remdonk is going to be a superstar for them in the future.
Okay, and the winner is Team Poland.
It's almost as if Andy Hall, the referee, was pointing towards the World Championship trophy just to his right, to our left there. The Poles were standing underneath that. Would that be a sign? Who knows? They are certainly in the running. They're through to heat number 2 with a time of almost 1 minute dead.
Well, their national record is 1:01.15, so they should have a new national record with that heat there. This is a really good-looking heat from Poland. Interesting choice to switch Mika Dubicki and Simon Grunwald's positions.
It got you for a second there, didn't it, buddy?
It got me for a second because they're listed differently, but Simon Grunwald did
to keep it fresh. They like to challenge
very good job on the underhand chop, and of course Mika Dubicki, you put him anywhere up there on stage and he can murder those logs with no problem at all. There's Christian Kaczmarek looking very good as he was clean through that block and left it wide open here for Mika Dubicki, and you can see this man who's struggled with problems with his forearms. He had some, I don't know what it's called.
He was showing them there, in fact, tennis elbow, right?
No, it wasn't tennis elbow. It's where the tendons kind of get, it's not like Typer's elbow or Typer's arm.
Right.
It's where the tendons get exploded and get swollen. So he had a lot of problems with his forearms there. So you'll see him probably wearing those sleeves the rest of his time on stage until that is healed up properly.
So let's talk again about this incredible Grunwald family. I mean what are they eating there in Poland?
I mean, Jacek Grunwald, the dad, obviously has brought 2 sons into the world, Mikolai and Simon, and the 2 of them are just absolute phenomenons when it comes to timber sports, and they absolutely have it on lock.
This is heat number 3 of the round of 16 at the Team World Championships. This is our commentator, Troy's home country, Canada, going up against Italy. We're going to see Bischoff, Dupuis, Cumberland and Sterling Hart for Canada, whose personal best national record is sub 50 seconds, 49.72. And we're going to see Fumagalli, Chiapponi, Perrin and Delpin going up for Italy.
So Alberto Fumagalli slipping in as the stock saw for Italy here. And the teams do have between 4 and 6 athletes, so
yeah,
they'll be able to switch in athletes as needed if anybody's injured or if somebody needs a break between rounds, if they feel confident about being able to get through here. Italy's in a bit of a tough one here as the tail of the tape definitely has Canada with the advantage, their personal best being 49.72, but you can never depend on that, and anything can happen out there, as we've seen already at the beginning of competition. And here we go.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords.
So this is heat number 3. This is Canada, Italy.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, good start there by Bill Bischoff for Canada. Fumagalli, a little bit of a struggle to get that saw up into position, but he's got a nice clean cut going. And now Canada is slightly in the lead over to the underhand chop, with Marcel Dupuis being about 3 drivers ahead of Alessandro Chiapponi on the underhand. Moving over to the other side now, and he's definitely 4 drivers ahead of Chiapponi as they're on their second side. It's going to be probably Marcel Dupuis getting through that block first, but I saw that he ran into a bit of a knot on the inside, but it doesn't seem to have mattered to him too much. He is through, and we've sent it over to Ben Cumberland, who is on single buck for Canada. Looking very clean, very smooth, going tip to knuckles on this blade. Look at that 2-meter long saw work.
Great work from Cumberland there.
And now over to Sterling Hart, a perennial competitor, absolutely a beast, Mickey Perrin.
Delpin waiting to go, here he comes.
Yeah, but he's gonna have a tough one to catch up with Sterling Hart, who's already done
look at
that. 58.91. Not their best time, but that is an absolutely fantastic time. It looked like it was a clean run through for the Canadians, and that means they're going to go on to the next round. Italy still fighting to get through that block there as Michael Delpin does it with aplomb at the end. A nice final cut, but unfortunately not quite enough for the Italians to make it into the next round.
Oh, that was interesting stuff from Canada. They've definitely got some of the most striking jerseys on display today. The blue of Italy, unfortunately, will not be seeing the quarterfinals. Commiserations to them. It was a strong time though, 1:14 and change, but Canada, wowee, considerably faster than any other team so far. Sub 1 minute, 58.91 for the Canadians. The debrief would be positive there for the Canadians.
Absolutely, for sure. And Michel Perrin giving thanks to the crowd behind the stage there, and the guys just giving each other a handshake on stage, which is super nice to see. And that's one of the things we love about Timber Sports, is it very much is a family affair. These guys are always supporting each other, regardless of whether they're competing on stage or not.
And the winner is Team Canada.
Team Canada not only win the award for the best looking jerseys, they win that heat, which will put them through to the quarterfinals. They will join France and Poland, of course. Italy did well today. They did really well.
Yeah. Let's take a look back here. So you can see, yeah, that's the problem there. He had to restart the saw, reposition the saw at the top of the block. So that cost him a ton of time. Theoretically speaking, he should have finished faster than Bill Bischoff, but because he had so many things going on at the top, and you can see that massive knot there in the block from Marcel Dupuis, but he managed to get it out of the way and cut through, and he allowed Ben Cumberland to do what he does best. And look at that. Knuckles disappearing into that block there. Tip disappearing into that block. Look how efficient and quickly he cuts there. Absolutely beautiful run from Ben Cumberland, who is not only a good-looking fella, a great timber sport athlete, but also is not too bad behind the mic either.
He is a terrific commentator and a great guy. I tell you what was really interesting, right at the beginning of this clip, we just saw a close-up of the Italian real deep in concentration, right? He wasn't even up yet. He was waiting for his compatriots to give him the green light, so to speak. But he had his hand on his head. He was focused. I mean, real extreme focus there.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, it's not just about the physical game. You know, they have to be in shape. They have to be fit. They have to know where and when they're cut. They also have to be mentally ready to go.
Yeah.
And that mental part of it, as I would almost say it's 50-50. You know, if you're not on point in your mind before you get on stage to make those cuts, something untoward could happen. A saw could slip. You could cut yourself badly. You could get injured. You know, you might grab the axe in the wrong position. You just never know. So you have to be up here on point as well as here on point. And that's what these guys really are.
Not only in timber sports, but in life, right?
There
I think
you
that's
go.
a good life lesson. So congratulations to your countrymen,
Yes.
Canada. Well done. They are through. Let's see who will join them. This is heat number 4 of the round of 16. We are going to see Switzerland in the red going up against Sweden in the yellow. Bühler, Geisler, Gnedinger and Reinhardt will represent Switzerland, and for Sweden we will see Skur, Svan, Svadling and Hansson.
Pontus Schier starting things off for us on the stock saw. We'll see Kalle Svadling on the single buck, the 2 sawing disciplines there. On the 2 cutting disciplines, Ferry Swan and Emil Hansen for the chopping. Also, these guys, it's a really well-balanced out team. Severin Bühler will start things off for the Swiss side. Christoph Geisler, who is always, always, always strong, along with Pirmin Gneding, who our German expert will definitely be rooting on today on the German show. And then, of course, bringing up the back end of the Swiss side is Olli Reinhardt, who is looking much better now after all of the drama of his finger and everything else has been taken care of in the last couple of years. So this is his chance to really step out.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Quick start by Severin Bühler there as he gets in there. Oh, he's coming real close to that line though. Pontus Schier, nice clean cut, and they both go over pretty much dead even on the underhand chop now. Christoph Geisler, so strong, so much experience. He's moved over to the other side of his block, about 3 strokes ahead of Ferry Swan. A little bit of a slip there, but you got to be real careful as well. You can't step down and make a cut while your foot's on the floor. A beautiful cut by Christoph Geisler. Ferry Swan, 2 drivers behind him. Over to the single buck now, and it's Pirmin Gneding looking very good, very clean. Kalle Svadling right there with him. They are in sync with each other. Absolutely fantastic. And now Olli Reinhardt, Emil Hansen going head-to-head on the standing block chop. 2 very young, very strong, very talented timber sports athletes with the axe in hand. And it's Olli moving over to the other side of his block, about 2 strokes ahead of Emil Hansen. Emil Hansen's got the power on the backside though. Let's see if he can get through there in a quick enough time. And it's Switzerland! Oh my goodness! Olli Reinhardt with an absolutely fantastic final run. They've got a personal best time of 59.74. Fantastic! Woo!
National record falls here for Switzerland. They have every right to celebrate. Wow. It was also a national record for Sweden, 102.33. That is the level of quality we got in the room today. 2 national records, if I'm reading that right. Congratulations to Switzerland. Wow, what a finish there.
Yeah, and Switzerland going on to the quarterfinals. They're going to be over the moon about that because they just went up and beat one of the strongest teams in the world in Sweden. So that is a great run for both of those guys, but this time Switzerland came out on top.
In fact, Skur was ahead after the stock saw, but then Geisler and Gnediger came, and then Reinhardt just absolutely ripped it through the last.
Team Switzerland!
There's the confirmation that Team Switzerland have won that heat with a personal best national record time of 59.48. Congratulations to them. Commiserations to Sweden, who will go home, but their time today was 8 seconds faster than the previous national record. Great timber sporting here.
Absolutely fantastic run from Switzerland. You got to give it to him though. Here you see Severin Bühler, on the other side Pontus Schier. Ferry Swan going up against Christoph Geisler on the underhand chop. Geisler just so strong always. Geisler 49, 50 years old, still an absolute monster. Oh, and look at that. I see what happened here. I didn't catch that earlier, but Kalle Swadling, he broke off the disc and had to reset the saw, and that gave the advantage.
We missed that. We didn't see the camera shot.
Now that we were over here, and Ollie Reinhardt just absolutely over the moon about that final driver. He knew he had won it for Team Switzerland. Look at that look on his face.
Look at the celebration.
Yes,
He lived
that's
every moment of that.
fantastic. What a run. That's some relief right there. That is some relief right there for
That
Switzerland.
really
Fantastic
is.
job.
High fives all round and a couple of hugs as well to boot. Great stuff from Switzerland here. Wow, that was interesting. That's what it's all about. There's so much going on stage.
Yep.
We missed it. We nearly
Yep.
missed that cut.
But thank God for our slow-mo guys.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
And you saw that with Kalle Swadling. He bent the misery whip, basically whipped it out, and that piece of cookie it was basically slung across the stage, and he had to go back and reset. Amazing cut.
We are going to see one of the teams to beat here in Heat 5 of the round of 16. It will be the United States with a personal best time of 50 seconds and 83, going up against the Netherlands. De Beer, Knoll, Van Drielen and Terpstra will represent the Netherlands, and we will see Slingerland, Koga, Buchan and Lentz for the United States. The United States, the one to beat here, right? They were lightning fast in time trials this afternoon.
I mean, nothing against the guys from the Netherlands. They've had to battle through the last chance qualifier to get here, and they're going up against a very, very strong side in the United States. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the United States in the final, but they still have to make it past this heat. And like we've seen, anything can happen in these heats. A flag can be thrown on the play. You could have a disqualification. Anything can happen. So it's really up to the guys just keeping it consistent with what they know how to do in the best possible way, and we'll see them get through it one way or the other. Matthew Slingerland and Elko de Beer will start it off for our teams here.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Great quick pickup by Matt Slingerland there. Elko de Beer with a good clean cut so far. Who's going to drop that cookie first? And it's going to be the USA, but by only half a stroke as we move over to Matt Kogar going up against Redmer Knoll. These two guys are pretty evenly matched up on the underhand chop, but it's Matt Kogar going over to the other side. 1.5 strokes ahead of Redmer Knoll. Will Redmer Knoll be able to catch up with Kogar? He's absolutely cooking through it here. Redmer struggling on that second side now as the U.S. are already on single buck with Mark Boquin. And he is down to the bottom, leaving it up to Jason Lenz, the big man, going to be going at that standing block chop. And now the Netherlands is in a little bit of trouble here as they've got to get through 2 disciplines before Jason gets through that block, and I don't think that's going to happen. Jason is such a power hitter. You can see he's a big man, and he can really hammer that block, and he's done it in 56-53 unofficially. So that means the U.S. will move on to the quarterfinal. Netherlands now moving on to Ben Terpstra on that standing block chop, getting plenty of support from the fans in the audience and from his teammates on stage as he chips out some big pieces on that block. We want to see him keep going through that. That fighting spirit is so fantastic as the Netherlands keep going to try and get that time done and get through that block, and he's done it in a time of 1:24.45. So good job by the Netherlands, just slightly outmatched, and there is a flag on the play and the Netherlands side, but it doesn't, I don't think it's really going to matter here at this point.
What a quick time from America. What a performance there, particularly from Lentz in the final round. He almost looked disappointed at how quickly he battered it away, you know.
Okay, so we're going to make a video check.
We are standing by. There is a video investigation in the arena. So the video judges will take a second look at the slow motion footage here. It is concerning the Netherlands. Did you catch it, Troy?
I saw the flag go down on the stage, but I didn't catch where the problem was. So they're at the screen now checking to see, and maybe it's about the start time, the transition time between the two. Maybe it's about the cookie that was cut on the stock saw. Just not sure. It looks like they're looking. It looks like
it's start
could
time,
be
isn't it?
The transition between the stock saw and the underhand chop. At this point, the DQ situation would be bad for them because they don't log a time. But as far as competition here is concerned, we know that Netherlands is not going on.
So Andy Hall will give us the definitive decision here on the America versus the Netherlands.
Okay, made a video check for Team Netherlands, a possible penalty with a transition between the stock saw and the underhand. However, that was fine, no problem. However, the winner is Team USA.
Okay, well that's good news because their time is locked in and official, so that will count for their overall rankings. And the Team USA, as we know, won that one cleanly with a time of 56.28.
So we've had 2 checks today already by the referees, and both in fact have been passed off, and the decision on the stage has stood. So the United States, with a powerful time of 56 seconds, will go through to the next round. Little personal joke there between my co-coms here and me. I like to say referee, he likes to say judges. You say potato, I say potato, right? You know?
Tomato, tomato. Yep.
Yeah. Although who says potato?
Vodka, gin. Yeah, I don't know anybody that says potato.
I don't know anyone who says potato. I love that look that Lentz gives his axe at the end there. He's almost like, you didn't do it quick enough for me there, brother. Look at this. He's like, I need more from you in the quarterfinals.
He's
is what he's
checking
saying.
to make sure he didn't chip the
Right.
axe. I mean, these axes are so incredibly precise and sharp that if you do run into a knot in the block, it can chip the axe. So the guys need to be really aware of that, because if that's an axe that they're really cutting well with on the day, then they want to be able to go back to that axe for the next heats.
So the United States were quick today in the
Yes.
time trials, and they were quick again here in the round of 16. Are they going to be too quick for anybody? Can anyone catch them?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, they were very fast. They're well under a minute. You know, we've seen the Canadians under a minute. The Australians are under a minute. New Zealand is under a minute. Hungary was really great as well. I mean, you know, these are teams that could definitely battle. But I see them so strong this year that the Americans really very much could be challenging Australia for that top spot on the podium. Will there be a changing of the guard this year? That remains to be seen. We still have a bunch more heats to go, so let's wait and see and follow the rest of the action here.
Indeed, let's do exactly that. And the athletes are ready to go, and they're from the same country that I was born in. This is Great Britain going up in the Heat 6. The round of 16 will be competed in the Heat 6 against the Czech Republic and Great Britain. Czech Republic with a sub 1 minute personal best time of 54. On paper, you'd say they're the favourites to go through in this heat, but Britain have put 2 strong times in today. Yep. They're coming together as a team. Could they pull off a surprise here?
Anything's possible. We've seen there's been improvement from round to round for a lot of the teams. The Czech Republic, I should have also maybe mentioned them in the talk
picture,
about being in the picture as a sub 1 minute team. So, you know, with Ivan Bumbushkar, Maciej Klima, Martin Kalina, Zdenek Maras, these guys are all really, really strong. But let's not count out George Spencer, Rob Chatley, Tom Redmond, and Glenn Pendleton. I mean, they've been really, really solid as a team. George has to cut a good starting cut where he works in forestry, so he should be able to handle that saw without any problems. And it was just a little bobble, a little position during the time trial that caused some problems, but in the last chance qualifier, he did a great job, and I think this should be a very interesting heat.
Continuing my little tradition, good luck to Great Britain, and I believe it's pronounced Konya Štesti to the Czech Republic.
Athletes ready!
Stand timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start on stock by both teams. There's some concentration from Ivan Bambushkar. George Spencer looking relaxed as he sends it over to Rob Chatley quickly. Rob Chatley getting to work on that underhand chop, and he's looking good right away. He's got quick pace there. Matthias Klima, no slouch though, as he moves over to the other side of his block, chipping away nicely. Some big pieces coming away from that block. Who's going to get through first? We'll watch those saws in the background on that single buck, and it's going to be Matthias Klima. Rob Chatley pretty close to it. He stepped down. Oh, but he's gotten through it now, and he's given that opportunity to Tom Redmond. Martin Kalina on the single buck for the Czechs. He's looking very good. He's using long, quick strokes. He cut it out a little bit early there, but
might there be a discrepancy there?
I don't know. It looked like it bent off more than fell off. Tom Redmond now getting the cut through and moving over to Glenn Pendleton, Zdeněk Maras onto the other side of his block for the Czech Republic. We've passed the minute mark here for both of these teams. Both teams struggling a little bit as far as the time is concerned, but it looks like it's going to be the Czech Republic doing it in a time of 109.83. Glenn Pendleton looking for those final drivers on his block to cut that time off. What's it going to be at for Great Britain? 117.65. So I don't see any problems so far. The only thing is maybe when that single buck for Martin Kalina bent off. Is there still material left on the block? Not sure. I don't think so, but it's hard to say the way it came off.
Another close check of the axe there from Maras. It wasn't the quickest of times, but it doesn't matter. It's just about being the winner in the heat.
Yeah.
And if those times are confirmed and there are no infractions,
I see
then
no
that
flags.
would be good enough for the Czech Republic.
Doesn't look like anything's going to be other than decision zone time here.
And the winner is Team Czech Republic.
Their final athlete just about made it for his moment of celebration there. The Czech Republic with a time of 109.57 will go through to the quarterfinals. Great Britain, after a great showing in the time trials this afternoon and in the last chance, will go home. I think they'll be pretty proud of that performance today, though.
Yeah, I mean, they've made improvements and they've stepped up the game. This one was a little bit slower, but you know, you could see the quality in the athletes from the Great Britain team, and you know, they're right there. They're right there. They're just on the cusp. A couple of small changes here and there, maybe in the way that they're cutting. Here is that run that I was really wondering about at the bottom of this cut, but he was very clean throughout the entire run. And obviously the judges didn't see what I saw. Maybe I'm just inventing things here. And right there is where it bent off and kind of fell down. But he managed to draw the saw back, I guess, and get that last little piece of material off. So, you know, that was important for him. And here's that final driver for the Czech Republic. A nice, clean last cut from Arash.
Look at the Czech fans there. They loved every second of that, and they'll get to see their athletes at least one more time, anything up to 3 more times, because they're through to the quarterfinals. We can see here the fantastic members of staff of STIHL who come on with all their different tools, the blowing machines, the sucking machines, those well, those turtle type things. They're amazing, aren't they? If you're interested in any of these devices, of course, you can get them on the STIHL website. Phenomenal tools here. They're not just for sport, they also solve a lot of problems at home. So here we go with heat number 7 of the round of 16. This is the favourites and reigning champions, Australia, going up against Austria. It's just a couple of letters, but it's many thousands of miles apart.
Tail of the tape is miles apart as well. 45.10 is Australia's best time, and that was from 2018. That's been a world record that's stood since then. Austria's best time is 1:10.90. Now that could very well change here today. Will it change enough to be able to beat Australia? We've seen teams with very fast times go a bit slower in the heats here, so let's see what Austria can do against Australia. There's a
Congratulations,
bit of a tongue
Austria.
twister here.
It is indeed. Congratulations, Austria, on making it through to the round of 16. Your reward is you get to go up against Australia.
Yeah.
We're going to see O'Toole, Meyer, Head and Argent for Australia, and we're going to see Halmer, Gunther Dahlinger, Josef Leier and the gentle giant Armin Kugler for Austria.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by Lawrence O'Toole.
Just following the line perfectly.
Yeah. Manuel Hauma very good as well, and he sends it over to both of them dead even with each other as they head over to the underhand chop. But as we know, Braden Meyer on the underhand chop is a devastating machine. Ooh, that's a massive chip that got in the way. That can cause problems for these guys. Gunther Dahlinger still working on the underhand chop for Team Austria. Meanwhile, Team Australia sent it over to Jamie Head, who is just giving it on that single buck. And now Joseph Lyer for Team Austria is going to try and catch up and give them an opportunity to battle in the standing block chop. But it's already Mitch Argent on standing block, working onto the other side now. And Austria waiting for Armin Kugler to get a chance to go onto the standing block chop. Meanwhile, Mitchell Argent just hammering away on that block. One more should do it, and he has done it in a time of 53.13 seconds. So maintaining status quo as under minute team here, and Armin Kugler battling hard to try and get a good time here. He's on his second side. He's not that far away from it, but he's just going to go past their personal best time here by just 3 seconds and change. So a good run from Austria, but a great run from Australia, and they will be moving on to the quarterfinals. Judges will take a quick check of all the pieces on deck there to make sure nothing untoward has happened. And there's that team spirit we see from all of these guys there. Austria still happy with the way things have panned out for themselves, making it to this round of 16. They weren't far off. They weren't far off, but it just came up to that single buck where Braden Meyer and Jamie Head were just miles ahead.
And the winner is Team Australia!
Team Australia take their place in the quarterfinals with that heat win and that time of 52.88. Commiserations to Austria, but what a wonderful sign there. As our judge, Andy Hall, was just making the announcement, they all raised their hands aloft, the Austrian athletes. A great success for them, a time of 1:12, in fact, just a couple of seconds away from their national record. So a really good showing here. But I think it's no surprise that Austria, with that time of 52 and that absolute brutality they've got in that team, Meyer, Head, Argent and O'Toole, just flew through the wood today.
Yeah, Braden Meyer is always so consistent on that underhand chop. And it was really the underhand chop. He was so quick, it took him no time at all to get through that block and send it over to Jamie Head. And he was managing to get through there. You see Mitchell Argent going to town on the standing block chop. And in the background earlier on, you saw Joseph Lyer. I mean, he is a solid single sawyer. There's no doubt about it. It was just about the time that Braden Meyer took, which is basically next to nothing to get through that underhand chop.
He is quite a phenomenon, isn't he?
He is a machine.
I mean, it's extraordinary. He's just so aggressive and so fast up there. It's like it's in his way, you know? He's just like,
get out of my way,
man. This block, I have to slice through.
Well, there's a reason why he holds the world record for that discipline, and it's held for a couple of years now. I mean, I remember at the World Trophy a few years ago, we saw him more or less not a rookie anymore, but came out, and that underhand chop that he did just blew everybody's mind. Like, all the athletes were standing around going, what's happened here? So, I mean, you know, he is the reason why the underhand chop has changed so drastically for Team Switzerland, for Team Poland, for Team USA, for Team Canada. You're seeing these guys try and learn how to underhand chop with quicker pace.
You're seeing some of the advantages of timber sports there. It is an indoor sport, so you can take your shirt off. So we are ready for the next heat. This is going to see one of the favourites, New Zealand, going up against Norway. Norway in red and New Zealand, of course, in their customary black jerseys.
And you can see those wicked spiked shoes that some of the guys use for the single buck. Provides a little bit of extra grip on stage there. I'm not sure if they're shot put shoes or javelin shoes, but I wouldn't want to have anybody step on my toes with those things.
Warm up your swords!
Maybe bobsled shoes.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, we are underway with stock saw, and it looks like Bart Gievers for Norway has done a good job to keep them right on pace with New Zealand. Over to the underhand chop. Ole Magnus Berget, who normally we see on the stock saw, has moved over to the underhand chop. Jack Jordan on the second side of his block, getting close to getting through there. The trophy champion's done a good job to send it over to Robert Dowling on single buck. Robert Dowling wasting no time to get that saw moving. And Sulje Berget is through and has sent it over to Ole Ivar Lierhagen, but he is already done and dusted. Robert Dowling, and Nathan McDonald is now going to be working already on the second side of his block, and this looks like it may be a really good time for New Zealand, who have basically said we're throwing the hammer down here. 53-41. That is a fantastic time. It's going to be a lot of guys looking at New Zealand and going, maybe they're going to take the championship. So there's a few guys to get through here first, but New Zealand showing that they are ready to go.
They've, of course, got the trophy format, two-time world champion Jack Jordan in their team. The current score time, 53-41 for New Zealand. That is currently unconfirmed. Norway with a strong time of 109, but we will sadly be saying goodbye to Norway. But we will not yet be saying goodbye to New Zealand. They will take their place in the quarterfinals with that time of 53-41. Very quick single buck there from Robert Dowling.
Yeah, it was very fast. I mean, you know, they gave him every advantage getting over to the single buck quickly.
Yeah.
And, you know, once you get that thing moving, if you keep it flowing nicely, you can cut through quick. And Robert Dowling did just that.
Great positioning here from the kids, waiting for the high fives from their New Zealand heroes here. Lovely show, good timing.
And the winner is Team New Zealand!
So New Zealand's going to go through, but Norway with a very nice time. I have to say, they improved on their time by a good 10 seconds. So that's a fantastic thing to see. And that will give them a new national record as well. Not confirmed, of course, but that should be the only way to go. If their previous national record was 1:19.31, and we're looking at a 1:09.59, as we look at how things are going to roll into the quarterfinals.
So 8 teams will make it forwards to the quarterfinals. It'll be France, USA in final 1. There'll be Canada, Czech Republic in quarterfinal 2, Poland, Australia in the 3rd, and Switzerland, New Zealand in quarterfinal 4. Very interesting here. United States, Australia, and New Zealand will not go up against each other until the semis. And speaking of New Zealand, we can go over to my good friend Florty in the arena with the winners of that heat, New Zealand.
Yes, and now you can just imagine how tall these guys are. Jetzt sieht man mal, wie groß die Jungs sind. Ich bin 1,85 Meter groß und ja, könnt ihr euch vorstellen, wie groß sind. Guys, I've been watching you very closely. It seemed like you're all in tremendous shape. How much do the tactics count as you proceed from round to round?
I've been doing a lot of training for this. We went not too bad then, but hopefully we can keep progressing throughout the night and come away with a win.
Der schwitzt gar nicht. Er sagt, doesn't seem you're sweating too much. Er sagt, sie konzentrieren sich von Runde zu Runde. Sie haben sich top vorbereitet. Und das sieht man jetzt, aber sie haben natürlich ein großes, großes Ziel. So what is the final goal after coming all the way from New Zealand here to Stuttgart?
Hopefully we come away with the win. That's always the goal here.
Also es gibt ein ganz klares Ziel. Sie zählen nicht nur zu den Favoriten, sie wollen auch natürlich ganz, ganz oben stehen am Treppchen. So what about the atmosphere? You guys seen a lot. If you compete here in Porsche Arena, What does it mean to you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely the best arena we compete in here. The crowd's always a good crowd, and yeah, it's awesome here.
Also großes Lob ans Publikum. Er sagt, Stuttgart gibt sogar ihm Gänsehaut und viel coolere Typen als dieser Neuseeländer gibt sich. So one more time, make some noise for the quarterfinalists, for the team of New Zealand as we return to the studio.
Thank you, Florty. Great work there. They are ice cold, aren't they? They're like, we're here to win it, but brother, we came here for no other reason. We want to take that trophy back with us.
Well, my favorite moment is, these guys are big. I'm 185 tall. Florty.
Yeah,
No,
we
good.
believe you, Florty. Many wouldn't. But seriously, joking aside, there was genuine seriousness there. You know, they were like, we came to win it. You know, we didn't come here for a holiday.
Australasia is like New Zealand, Austria, right? Or Australia, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I mean, Australia has won this title the last 3-4 years in a row. It's an absolute battle between these two because the last time a team won prior to Australia was, in fact, New Zealand. So they each share titles here. They each have it in their hearts that they want to have these titles, so it is really personal for New Zealand at this point.
Well, it's great that you mentioned those two countries because we can put them up side by side in a split screen for you and see the times of Australia and New Zealand. Here we go. Hopefully we can take a look at that clip.
Yeah, I love these side-by-side clips because you can really see how each of these athletes performs against the, athlete from the other side.
Exactly. They weren't on the stage at the same time. Yeah, go ahead and run the VT. We are ready to go here in the studio. So we're going to see Australia versus New Zealand, hopefully on this clip. I'm being reliably informed in my ear that we can see it. Here it comes. So we've got Australian green on the left, going up virtually live here against New Zealand in black on the right.
So Australia was slightly faster on the impact on the top of the block with that stock saw, but New Zealand was faster through the cut. On the underhand chop, I mean, it's hard to see here because you could see our fly cam going over there, but you could see the chips flying away from the block from Australia there. And it was pretty close as it sent it over to the single buck. And you can see here the timing, again, very, very close.
You just see the stock saws just sliding in from the right there, can't you?
Yeah, and as we move over here on to the standing block chop with Mitch Argent, and this guy's just going at it really hard. I mean, the timing between them is just fantastic.
Okay, trust me, the drama is unfortunately not viewable here on this shot, but both teams have really set their stall out today, and they will be in the quarterfinal, as will France, the United States, Canada and the Czech Republic, and Poland and Switzerland.
All right, so we're looking at that quarterfinal lineup, and it's just going to get hotter from here, folks, as we get our first two teams out on stage.
And we are going to the quarterfinals. This is heat number 1. We are going to see France go up against the title favorites, the United States. France will be represented by Courteau on the stock saw, Maurice on the underhand chop, Pubaré on the single buck, Vincent on the standing block chop, and the two Matthews, Singeland and Koga, will be supported by Buchin and Jason Lentz for the United States.
Mark, give us a nod if we're saying your name wrong. Boquin. We've been butchering names all year long, so why change now, right?
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start. France has been notoriously good with these starts on the stock saw. Mats Lingerlund looking good though, as actually it was France a little bit faster on the stocks on the transition over to the underhand chop. You can see a beautiful view from over there, overhead, as Alexander Maurice and Matt Kogar go at it. Matt Kogar moving to the second side of his block, slightly ahead of Maurice. Maurice is quick though, looking good. Is it going to be Kogar through first? It will be. And now moving over to the single buck with Mark Boquin. I think I've said his name 4 times differently, but he's looking good on that single buck as he is clean through, and now will give Jason Lentz a chance to clean up that last part of the 4 disciplines as Pierre-Puy Barret cuts through his single buck and now gives it over to Loïc Poisson. Remember, their personal best today was 48.55, but the United States cleaned through with a 53.43, so unfortunately for France, it's not going to happen this time, even with a fantastic showing earlier on. They just weren't quite fast enough here, and Loïc Poisson, a few more drivers to get through that block, and he's done it in 1:09.84, but they'll definitely take that less than 1 minute time they had earlier on as their personal best for France, and a great job for them to do that. But the Americans, they are really on point here today. All the guys just performing at top level. Mats Lingerlund, Matt Kogar, Mark Boquin, and Jason Lentz are all in top form for the competition here today.
This is the period of the tournament where stamina is going to start to play its role.
Absolutely. That's very correct, in fact.
And the winner is Team USA!
Team USA are confirmed as the winners of the first quarterfinal, and they will take their place in the semi-final here in the Porsche Arena in Stuttgart. Another very strong time, and you even have the feeling, correct me if I'm wrong here, Troy, that they haven't even got into top gear yet.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, they could be saving a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if that's fair to say, though, because if that is actually the case and they're holding back some, that's a little bit of a slap in the face against the teams they're competing against. Yeah, not holding back in the sense that we don't need to bring it now, but we know that something might be coming, and we're going to have to turn the screw, you know? I mean, the best teams are always conserving a little bit of energy, you know?
Right.
They're always keeping a close eye on what the other guys are doing out there.
Exactly.
They're always maintaining, you know, the status of being able to have their routine set. And there you can see this concentration, and the precision is absolutely the word for it. Yeah. Absolutely.
The teamwork as well there. I love the support here on the single buck.
And that was a beautiful cut from Mark Boquin there from the single buck. That was very, very fast, nice and efficient. And of course, the big man here, Jason Lentz, you just don't want to get in the way of any of those drivers at all.
You really don't. I wouldn't want to be his axe. He seems very disappointed with his axe today.
No kidding.
He's struck it another severe look there. But Isaac seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Lovely scenes there as well from the French. They knew that their time wouldn't be good enough to take through to the semis, but it's all about improving personal best and improving times. Will your boys from Canada improve their time? This is the second heat of the quarterfinal. We are going to see Canada go up against the Czech Republic. It will be Bischoff, Dupuis, Cumberland and Hart for Canada, and we will see Bambushka, Klima, Kalina and Marash for the Czech Republic.
No changes in the lineup positions for any of these teams here, so they're confident that the guys they have in the positions they are in are doing the job correctly for them, and they want to make sure that, you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
As a couple of Canadian fans go past our studio here, he's very excited, the chap showing us his hoodie.
Walking by the studio, going to miss the competition. What's going on here?
You're in the wrong place, brother. Get out there in the arena. Right, this will be the Czech Republic against Canada. Their personal best times not far apart, so there could be fireworks here, dear Timber Sports fans.
And this is anybody's game here between these two teams. I mean, we've seen it in the past where the Czech have beat Canada, and Canada have also beaten the Czech. So it's about a little bit of wood luck, you know, or as we say in hockey, puck luck.
Wood luck, I like it. I think you've coined a new expression there, Troy.
Athletes ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by both teams here. I can't call this one. It's dead even on the saw here by the looks of it. Ooh, slightly faster for Canada as it gets over to Marcel Dupuis on underhand and Maciej Klima for the Czech Republic on underhand. Ooh, bit of a sticky one there, but Marcel Dupuis moving over to the other side. Big chips flying off that block. Good speed for him. And Maciej is also on the other side. He's chipping out nicely as well, but Marcel Dupuis is through quickly, handing it over to Ben Cumberland on the single buck. And Maciej Klima has done a good job to get Martin Kalina busy on 2-meter-long cross-cut saw. Ben Cumberland looking very smooth, though. And now it's Sterling Hard on that standing block. And Zdenek Marash on his is moving over to the other side. Ooh! Marash is catching up with Sterling Hart. Sterling's got some pressure on him now, but he's done it in 56.02. The Czech Republic not that far behind. A couple more drivers by Marash in 102.48. So if all things are stated as fair, that means Canada will go through to the semi-final.
Bischoff, Dupuis and Cumberland giving Hart an opportunity to finish it off there, and in a time of 16.04 for his discipline, he managed to take Canada over the line, and they will go through to the semi-finals. Commiserations to the Czech Republic. Quick stock saw from Bambushka, but then a bit of time was lost on the underhand chop in the single buck by Klima and Kalina respectively. Marash just had too much time to catch up, unfortunately. Commiserations to the Czech Republic with a time of 102.19. We will be saying goodbye to you, but thank you for a wonderful performance this afternoon, this evening.
And the winner is Team Canada.
There it is, your boys, Troy. Canada are in the semis.
Yes, they are.
One of only 4 teams left now.
If you look closely at the slow-mos here in a minute, I don't know if we'll be able to see this, but Team Canada started on the underhand chop ahead of Team Czech Republic by only, I'm going to say, 2 to 3 drivers.
Yeah, it was close.
And it was 2 to 3 drivers that was the difference at the end of the underhand chop to send it over to the single buck. So theoretically speaking, you know, it was a pretty evenly matched heat between these two teams.
We're looking at the split times here. Sterling Hart was slightly in the lead. Canada were in the lead when it went through to the standing block chop, but then his time of 16.04 in the standing block chop was almost 4 seconds faster than Marash's. So great strong finish there, and he enjoyed it as well. There was that shot right at the end where you could see the muscles bursting as he held his axe in the air. They're very, very happy to give themselves a chance here. You got to be in it to win it, and they are in the semi-finals. I do like their jerseys, I've got to say. I might get me one of those, actually. No disrespect to my British boys, of course I'd support you, but I do like those shirts. Good job, All Sport. Look at that. Look at that. He enjoyed every moment of that. And
yes, he did.
Rightly so. So that leaves us 2 quarterfinals to go. We're going to see Poland, Australia, and we're going to see Switzerland, New Zealand. Wouldn't you know it, the computer has kept Australia and New Zealand apart at least for one more round.
Shocker.
This is heat number 3 of the quarterfinals here at the Team World Championships for Timber Sports. We're going to see Poland go up against Australia. The Grunwald family are tagging in and out. We are going to see Father Grunwald go up here together with Dubicki, Kaczmarek and his son Simon Grunwald and O'Toole Meyer. Brad DeLoza, the world champion, will join Mitchell Argent for Australia. Brad DeLoza, of course, the current reigning individual world champion, but will that change tomorrow? He will be guaranteed to be world champion for another 23 hours or so, but who knows what will happen tomorrow. This is a strong team, O'Toole, Meyer, DeLoza and Argent. There's speed all the way across that, but there's technique and speed in the Polish team as well.
There is, and there's desire as well, which is a major factor here for these guys.
Okay, gentlemen, one of your swords. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ooh, quick start by Jacek Grunwald for Poland. He's got that saw in and running smooth and clean. Lawrence O'Toole is going to bend over so far to get to that
just
saw.
ahead at this stage.
Yeah, it's just slightly, but you know, it's the same situation. And look at this, wow! The young man, Simon Grunwald, on the underhand chop is keeping up with Braden Meyer. Braden Meyer gets through it. 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes so far ahead of Simon Grunwald as they headed over to Lawrence O'Toole. Brad DeLosa, excuse me, Lawrence O'Toole cut earlier. Brad DeLosa on single buck. Jacek Grunwald screaming at Christian Kazmarek to push him hard. And it's already Mitchell Archon on the second side of his block for Australia as Mikael Dubitsky is trying hard, but it's not going to be enough. And Australia does it in 50.58 seconds. Dubitsky still trying to kill that block. And he does it in 1:02.45.
Great showing there from both teams.
Yeah.
A strong time, 1:02. If it hadn't been just for a little bit of a hiccup there on a couple of the disciplines, Poland were right in with a shout, but Australia, wowee, nearly 3 seconds faster than anybody else today. Really setting the cat amongst the pigeons there.
Yeah, and we saw briefly there as Simon Grunwald pointed at the block on the underhand. I think he probably had a fairly dark spot there that was a knot that slowed him down. He was about 5 or 6 strokes behind Braden Meyer on that underhand, but he was very quick. First side was great for Simon, and then he was right there with Braden on the second side, and then he just ran into that hard spot.
The winner is Team Australia.
There it is, the winners from 2022, Team Australia aren't slowing up at all here. They take their place in the semi-finals, and we will be saying goodbye to Poland. Right, we're getting under 50 seconds now. We're really speeding up.
Yeah.
That's what I meant about that sort of strategy, that building of momentum as the tournament develops, right? You don't want to peak too soon.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a part of it that's strategy, but I think momentum is built automatically as you start to get that adrenaline rush, and you know there's a very, very capable team across the stage from you. And every time that happens, you know you've got to step up. And we say in hockey, it's playing up. You know, you could have a bad team of players or maybe a team of players that aren't at the level of a team that you're playing against, and you play well against them because you have to.
Can we talk about Braden Meyer? Why is he so angry? I mean, he just launches into his work, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's an intense athlete and he's an intense competitor. And, you know, he knows all too well what it takes to become a world champion, both in the team and in the individual level. So he just wants to, and it's sort of that same situation like I mentioned with Danny Martin earlier. He just wants to drag the team into the podium spot on the top with them, you know. So they're on pace to do it, but they've still got to run into the Americans and the Canadians, and it's going to be an interesting day.
It really is. Great job again, though, we must say, from Team Poland, particularly the Grunwald family. Fantastic performance. And so it is time for the fourth and final quarterfinal. We are going to see Switzerland going up against New Zealand. It'll be Bühler, Geisler, Gnedinger and Reinhard for Switzerland. And we will see Chris Lord, Jordan Dowling and Nathan McDonald for New Zealand. Switzerland's personal best is 1:01 and change. New Zealand's under 50 seconds.
That's their old personal best, actually. They bested their personal best earlier on in the round of 16. So they're actually under a minute now, by virtue of that standing block from Olli Reinhardt. I believe they're at 56 or perhaps 59 seconds. I didn't see it on their side by side, but it was still under a minute, so that's all that matters.
This is the final quarterfinal. It's Switzerland in the red going up against New Zealand in black.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, we are underway here. Switzerland against New Zealand. The intensity ramps up for both of these teams, and it looks like it's New Zealand just slightly behind Switzerland as they move over to the underhand chop. Jack Jordan working hard against Christoph Geisler. Jordan over to the other side of his block with a sticky axe. Christoph Geisler still on the first side now. Moving over to the second side, we know Christoph Geisler's got it in him to get this done quickly. Jim and Gnadinger waiting on his chance to go at that single buck, but Robert Dowling already working on his single buck there as Christoph Geisler's got a sticky one and he's finally through. He's not happy with that block at all. And now Nathan McDonald on standing block as Pim and Gnadinger works that single buck to try and get Ollie Reinhardt his chance to go at the block. And there we go, Ollie Reinhardt getting into it. But Nathan McDonald cleans it up for New Zealand in 54.20. Ollie Reinhardt quick with that axe, but not quick enough today to get in there as he's got himself, there's a quick picture of us, hello, as he's got himself in there with a time of 109.56.
Even commentators need to take a quick drink once in a while. Thank you for showing us that, dear Mr. Director. Congratulations to New Zealand in that heat. They will take their place in the semi-finals. Switzerland with a time of 109.56 will sadly be leaving us, but thank you, gentlemen, for some fantastic timber sports this week. New Zealand are here, and they're the Icemen, and they are wanting, they're smelling victory here.
They're smelling victory. One thing you can say about Switzerland, though, and they can definitely be very proud of how they performed here today, is that under a minute time. So they're going to definitely take that to the bank, we'll call it, and work forward from there. So that's a great step for Switzerland in the right direction.
There's the confirmation from our judge, Andy Hall, that Team New Zealand have won it with a time of 53.90. I think you could probably say that the 4 teams from the quarterfinals that one would have expected to go through to the semis have done, but nonetheless some great performances from France, the Czech Republic, and Poland and Switzerland. So here we see confirmation of the 4 teams, the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The computer randomly assigns them their semi-final places. This is who will be going up against each other. Oh, the screen's been taken from me, sadly. We'll check out the slow-mo first, and then we'll go to the semis. How about that? In fact, I can tell you it'll be the United States, Canada, and Australia, New Zealand. Ooh, look at that. When an America's lineup and an Antipodean lineup. Talk us through the New Zealanders here. You see Jack Jordan here angrily attacking that log there.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Jordan, the trophy champion from this year, just a fantastic athlete, big boy, lots of power, and you know, he really took it to that block. And then at the end, Nate with a fantastic final driver there to do it for Team New Zealand. Here's Ollie Reinhardt doing his best to get through there. And you could tell he was so excited in the earlier heat, and this time there was that disappointment on his face because he knows he's going to be out of it. And there's Ollie's girlfriend fully into the action here, so great job for her being such a power fan out there in the audience.
So I said that we have seen maybe some of the favourites make it through. I think that's fair to say, with the greatest of respect to the other teams. We've got the United States, we've got Canada, we've got Australia, and wouldn't you know it, they're going up against New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, the battle of the 49th parallel is going to be the first heat today, the U.S. against Canada. Unfortunately, one of these 2 powerhouse teams is going to get knocked out. And then, of course, Australia and New Zealand, one of them is going to go by the wayside. This is the chance now for New Zealand to really step up and say, okay, Australia, we want that title back. They got to battle hard. They have so much to do here to get past that team. So it's going to be interesting, a couple of heats in the semifinals. Absolutely.
Yes, it is. We can go right back to the arena and get back into the sport. Here we go. There is no peace for the wicked here.
Nope.
Here we are. Here we are. So we got the opportunity to see a heat versus heat. So we've got Australia going up against New Zealand. They weren't competing against each other, of course, but we have lined up, or our technicians, I should say, have lined up the footage next to each other. There you see Maya absolutely annihilating the block on the left there, but Jack Jordan as well. What power these boys have got.
I mean, Jack Jordan's only one stroke behind Braden Meyer in that particular discipline. So you can see here, these guys are really, really evenly matched up. And that is going to make that second semifinal heat, that second semifinal heat very, very interesting. As you can see here also on the standing block chop, what an incredible battle it is between these two teams. So Australia's slightest of advantage here. One stroke perhaps, 2 strokes in this case, 3. But generally, both these teams are pretty well matched up against each other.
So Australia set a time around the 50-second mark. It was 4 seconds faster than New Zealand, but we're going to see the times increase again, I would hazard a guess. So the remaining semifinals are, as we're seeing on the graphic there, the United States against Canada in semifinal 1, and semifinal 2 will give us one of Australia or New Zealand. All 4 of those teams have submitted multiple 1-minute times today, so we're going to see fireworks there either way, aren't we?
Absolutely. It's going to be a very interesting
speaking of fireworks there, it was almost like the manager in the arena heard me say that. Here we go, dear Timber Sports fans. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is the first semi-final, and it is the United States going up against Canada.
So the United States has improved on their personal best time, taking it from a 51.28 to a 50 and change. Canada still a little bit below that with a 49.72. So this is going to be a very intense heat between these two nations that are neighbors. There's going to be no love lost here on stage, but we know that they're always willing to shake hands and be friendly about it afterwards. You know, the Canadians are good like that, eh?
That A gave you away there, Mr. Mannering. You are, of course, of Canadian descent, but you will be neutral in your commentary today. I am sure of that.
No way, you hoser.
Don't be confused by the jersey colours on the left of your screen. We've got the United States in red, white and blue, and comfortably in red, white and black. On the right, it's Canada. This is going to decide who takes the first place in the Team World Championship Final 2023.
Matt Slingerland looking very calm, cool, and collected there as he got that saw warmed up. Here we go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Great start by both sides. There's Matt. Good, clean cut. Bill Bischoff looking good as well. Pretty even start as we head over to Marcel Dupuis and Matt Kogar. Marcel Dupuis, Matt Kogar. Matt Kogar onto the second side of his block, 2.5 strokes ahead of Marcel Dupuis. And there we go. That was a quick cut by Matt Kogar as he sends it over to the single buck of Mark Boquin. But now Ben Cumberland's on single buck for Canada. Is going to try and catch up to the big man. He's got a few strokes behind here as Jason Lenz gets to work on the standing block chop. Ben Cumberland is through, and now it's going to head over to Sterling Hart. A little bit of a bobble by Jason Lenz as he heads around to the other side. Sterling Hart taking a quick cue over to the other side. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's a personal best, season's best time for the United States. 47.31, Canada with a 52.30. Canada really pushed the U.S. on that one, and they've actually improved their time by quite a bit. 4 seconds and change here. So that's a great job by the States to get a new personal best, season's best. 47.31 is a great time, and they are going to the final.
They are going to the final with that time. We've got to wait to see what that time is confirmed as, but if it stands at 47:31, that is a new national record for the United States. Wowee, I mean, they were dead heat at the time of the stock saw, both sub 8 seconds, but then America seemed to turn the screw. Koga, Buquin, and then Lentz finishing it off. It's been rounded down to 47 dead, which is a personal best, which is a United States record.
And the winner is Team USA!
Commiserations to Canada, who leave us at the semi-final stage. Great performance, Bischoff, Marcel Dupuis, Ben Cumberland and Sterling Hart. But congratulations to Matt Slingerland, Matt Koga, Mark Buquin and Jason Lentz. They will take the first place in the final here, and wouldn't you know it, they were here last year in the final as well, so they've come with every intention of winning it. It was sometimes difficult to discern the difference in the jerseys. They were very similar, but the difference in times did separate itself by the end of the disciplines.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys just did everything they possibly could to make sure that they were going to get to that final. We will see Team Canada going against... I know, Matt was so fast there. Team Canada will also compete in one more heat in the small final for position 3 on the podium. So depending on who comes through the next heat between Australia and New Zealand, we'll see who will be going up against them. But look at this. This is the second side for Jason Lentz. He was angry at that block.
Lentz has got this extraordinary facial expression, that kind of, you know, the rounding of the lips, that focus, the channeling of all of his energy through his head.
I think he scared the block off the top there.
It's terrifying. You'd only have to sort of glare at it, and I think it'd leap off the stage on its own. Great stuff here. Really, really enjoyed that. That was a wonderful semi-final. Canada with a not too shabby time of 52 seconds. But at the end, they were outclassed by the United States, 5 seconds faster with a time of 47 dead. That's the fastest any United States team has ever done it. Here's the second semi-final then. This is the second and final semi-final. It's heat 2, and it is a down-under affair. It's going to be Australia going up against New Zealand. We're going to see the stock saw from O'Toole, the underhand chop from Meyer, the single buck from DeLoza for Australia, and the standing block chop will be Mitchell Argent. Chris Lord will kick it off for New Zealand, followed by the underhand chop from Jack Jordan, Robert Dowling with the single buck, and the last leg will be taken by Nathan McDonald for New Zealand.
So no major changes for Australia in this one. Chris Lord slipping in for New Zealand in that stock saw. So let's see if this makes a difference for these guys. You see the secret weapon here in this heat to make it to the final. This is going to be a monumental battle. Two teams that know each other oh so well from years past and recent years as well. So there's going to be a lot on the line here. Pride, position, and that awesome team trophy and their name up on it one more time.
Last minute preparations being made here.
Okay, gentlemen, one of your Chopperoos.
So semi-final number 2 is Australia in green, New Zealand in black. Here we go.
Ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very even start by both these teams. It's going to be a tough call. I'm already nervous about this one.
Oh, in synchrony they swing down together.
And now moving over onto the underhand chop. Braden Meyer and Jack Jordan going against each other, moving over to the other side of their blocks at about the same time. Braden Meyer, as we know, so quick here. Jack Jordan, no slouch though, and it looks like it might be Jack Jordan through at exactly the same time, but he had to step back up and cut through a thread. And now that's given a small advantage to Australia, and Brad DeLosa, who we know is fantastic on the single buck. But for New Zealand, Robert Dowling has been good all day long.
This is too close.
And now it's Mitchell Argent on the standing, and that means Nathan McDonald is going to have to work his butt off as they both come around to the other side at about the same time. Who's going to have it? It's going to be Mitch Argent, or is it going to be Nathan McDonald? It's going to be close, but it's going to be Australia going on to the final. New Zealand will have to battle it out in the small final. So Australia, once again, will contend to try and maintain dominance in the team competition up against the USA. And I saw this coming, the USA going up against Australia. But wait a minute, we have a flag on the play.
Oh, there it is. We have a yellow flag for New Zealand. So that time will be checked. Confirmation there that the New Zealand performance is under review. Australia making their way to the front of the stage.
Again, this is going to be inconsequential for New Zealand because they are still eliminated here and will go on to the small final. It's about the time here now. If they get fined a few seconds in this semi-final, so that will change their time for the season and obviously their rankings.
We have a 15-second penalty between New Zealand for the transition between the underhand and the single buck. The winner is Team Australia.
So Australia wins it clearly, but it's a 15-second penalty for New Zealand. So their time will go up to 105.83, and that means we will see them in the small final, but that will affect their season record. Let's put it that way.
And I think it was the, we're going to see a slow motion in a moment, but I think it was that part that you commented on where Jack Jordan came down and put his foot down. We'll check out a slow-mo in just a second, but there's the visual confirmation that the third place playoff will be the United States versus New Zealand, and the final will be Australia versus
United States.
United States. That was a mistake.
No, the U.S. is going up against Australia in the final, and in the small final it will be New Zealand against Canada.
That's right. There was a small mistake on that graphic. Apologies for that, dear viewer. But as my trusted colleague has just confirmed, we are going to see a repeat of the 2022 final. So here it is. This is where Jack, we don't see, if you watch on the left of your screens here, Jack Jordan thinks he was finished, goes down, has to come back up, and unfortunately Dowling had already started to soar when Jack's foot first went down.
And that's where that 15 seconds came from. So that's where they the competition control center came into play here. They said, yeah, it was a jumped gun. In that case, a little bit too quick for Robert Dowling on the single buck. So, but you know, in his defense, he saw Jack step down, who's normally clean, and he started his cut, and then Jack had to step up and cut through again.
And you know, I wonder, I'd like to see it again, I wonder whether when Jack Jordan's foot first came down, I had a feeling that he was through anyway.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have to check that on the very slow motion.
But you can't, it's for our angle, you can't tell, because sometimes the log will split like this, and there will be one small thread that's just hanging on there, and the athlete will see it, and he'll have to go back down and cut through it to make sure it's a fair cut. You have to cut through the log from both sides. It has to be a clean cut through.
And in that moment, when Jack Jordan's foot first went down, Dowling's already started. He's in his zone. He's going for it, right? What we can do is we can see a heat versus heat here, and hopefully kind of compare the techniques and the speeds. Go ahead and run that VT, please.
Yeah, we're going to see this side by side again between these two teams. And again, it's Australia and New Zealand in these side by sides that are always so close together. All right, let's have a look here.
So we've got the USA in on the left.
Oh, excuse me, United States, Australia
on the right.
So this is basically a preview of our final. I thought we were going to have New Zealand, Australia again, but you could see, Matt Kogar. Not Matt Kogar, excuse me. Just watching these guys, it's just, it's mind-blowing, you know, how quick they are. How easy they make it look. That's just years and years and years of training.
I was going to say, for those of you new to the sport, these are superhuman achievements that they're putting here. I mean, people have never done the single buck before, for example. Might take minutes to get through it. They take seconds.
Look at Mitchell Argent on the right-hand side, though. I mean, he is just powering into that block, and he was only one driver behind Jason Lenz on that standing block chop. So that tells you all you need to know. The battle here between these two teams is going to be intense. Now, that was just side by side where we spliced that together from two separate heats here. When they're actually getting on stage together, it's going to be fireworks, really proper fireworks on stage between the USA and Australia.
It really is. I think we need a very short break. I think we all need to catch a little bit of air here. We're going to go to a short clip. We'll check out some products from STIHL. Maybe get yourself a very quick drink, but be right back because we've got the final coming right up. Here we go.
The battles.
The STIHL brand world. A new home for a global brand. Discover how Andreas STIHL revolutionized forestry work. Feel what moves us today and what we move. Immerse yourself in the fascination of the forest. Informative.
3,
inspiring.
2, 1, go!
Entertaining. Experience STIHL from new perspectives in one place that connects everything. The STIHL brand world.
There's still some wild out there, but to look for it, you need something that can look adventure in the eye. Something built wild. You need a Bronco.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that short break. Please support our sponsors because they support us, but that brand world at STIHL is fantastic.
I'm going there.
I enjoyed that hugely. The drone shot going through there. Very nice indeed. Okay, I am reliably informed that we can check out the competition tree just to give us a recap of where we stand. Let's take a look at that now.
Let's find out how we got here.
Here it is. So 16 have become 2. We can see the winners of the heats here being slipped into the quarterfinals. That was France, USA, Canada, Czech Republic, Poland, Australia, and Switzerland, New Zealand. That gave us 2 semis of the United States and Canada, and then the Antipodean final of Australia and New Zealand. And we're going to go back to the arena now for the third place playoff. That will be Canada versus New Zealand. Here we go. We can go straight over to the arena now. You can hear Florty and Sandy in the background whipping the crowd into a crescendo, but quite frankly, I think the sport's doing that on its own.
It's doing it all by its lonesome.
This is the third place playoff, the so-called small final. This is the 15th heat, if you like, and we are going to see Canada and New Zealand playing off to see who will take the bronze medal here in the Porsche Arena for the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championships 2023. New Zealand in the semi-final, brutally unlucky with that time penalty, just pipped to the post. Canada also with a great performance today. Where's your money on here, Troy?
Whoa, tough call on this one. I mean, both of these teams are absolutely fantastic. They're in top form. It's going to, for me, I think it's going to come down to the 2 guys at the front of the stage here, Jack Jordan and Marcel Dupuis. They are very well matched up against each other. Marcel being around the block, Jack Jordan, a young man, very big, very strong. And we'll see how it blows out when these logs start to finally fall apart. There you can see Sterling Hart doing the last minutes of preparation on the standing block. He's always so consistent with his performances. He is more or less a machine out there. Robert Dowling, of course, and Ben Cumberland on that single buck. So let's see how this all plays out and where, if at all, my call is correct Let's see.
Good luck to both teams. This is Canada, New Zealand.
Ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ooh, very quick start there by Bill Bischoff. He was fast on that saw. Chris Lord looking very clean, but it's Marcel Dupuis for Canada starting off quickly on the underhand chop. Jack Jordan about 1.5 strokes, a half stroke behind, but Jack Jordan, and Marcel Dupuis moving over to the front side of their blocks pretty much evenly. Jack Jordan chipping out very nicely. He should be through quickly, and he is, as he sends it over to Robert Dowling on single, and now Ben Cumberland on single will start to work. Ben Cumberland really solid here. Robert Dowling all the way through almost. He's 3/4, 3 5/8 now, and he is through, but Ben Cumberland has done a good job to catch up, and now it's going to be up to Sterling Hart against Nathan McDonald. Sterling Hart, Nathan McDonald moving over to the second side of their standing blocks. This will be a tight one between two very good teams and very good choppers. Will it be New Zealand or will it be Canada? And Canada is going to take the bronze medal with a time of 53.05. Woo! What a final driver from Sterling Hart to do it for Canada. I don't see any flags on the play so far, so we should be good to have another bronze medal in the books for Canada. And a disappointed Team New Zealand right there, who have worked so unbelievably hard all day. They've been fantastic from beginning till end, but it was just at the end where they had not quite enough at the standing block chop.
Bitter disappointment there for Team New Zealand. Commiserations with the time, as yet unconfirmed, 55. Will be good enough for 4th place. Congratulations to Canada, though, with that time of 53.05. They loved every second of that, didn't they? The high fives are still going on. Yeah. Wow. Congratulations to the Canadian team. That was really a great performance today.
So I said that it might come down to the underhand chop there, but it really was the single buck that was the decision maker, of course, and the standing block chop from Sterling Hart. Ben Cumberland was starting on that single buck a little bit behind Robert Dowling. Robert Dowling was so good and so solid, he cut through there. But Ben Cumberland came through very, very clean with just a hair behind Robert Dowling, and that gave Sterling Hart the opportunity to really go for it on the standing.
And the winner is Team Canada.
Congratulations, Team Canada. 52.80. The fireworks confirm that we have a 3rd place team. New Zealand, congratulations as well. A great day. 4th place for you. Okay, I am reliably informed that we can go straight over to the arena with Florty, who has got the Canadian team there. The team that's just taken themselves the bronze medal. Florty, can you hear me, brother?
No, I'm still walking him down to the front of the stage by the looks of it. Hopefully he'll be there shortly. And I use the term literally.
Okay, Florty, thank you very much. There he is, there he is. Oh, it's
this
another very tall team.
This has been a tremendous competition, but that finale to make it bronze was absolutely amazing. Does teamwork make the dream work tonight for you?
You can bet your bottom dollar it does. It makes a real difference when the guys that you're competing with, you know they've got your back, and you're all just giving it everything you got to get right to the end and give the best time you can.
Also er sagt, es gibt nichts Schöneres für ihn, als im Team zu kämpfen, und ich glaube, das hat man jetzt auch ganz genau gesehen. Du weißt, jeder hält dem anderen den Rücken, jeder steht hinter dem Nächsten, und da macht es gleich doppelt so viel Spaß, und da kann man unfassbare Leistungen bringen. Sterling, that was probably some of the wildest hacking I've seen in a long time. How did it feel for you?
I don't really remember much of it, to be honest with you. No, we were fueled by quite a bit of emotion today. Me personally, both Jason Wynyard and Martin Comerack were both very close friends of mine, and Martin Comerack's wife and kids are actually here today. And I mean, me personally, I was able to channel that, and these guys, we've all had each other's back since we've been over here, and I couldn't ask for a better team.
Wunderschöne Worte, also nicht nur sagt, dass er sich nicht vorstellen kann, ein besseres Team an seiner Seite zu haben, sondern auch Marek Komarek und Jason Wynyard, die leider von uns gegangen sind, haben ihm ganz, ganz wichtige Emotionen mitgegeben. Er war im Tunnel, er sagt, er kann sich eigentlich gar nicht mehr daran erinnern, aber dieser Spirit von STIHL Timbersports, der hat sich heute in einer Bronzemedaille geäußert. And we're going to see you tomorrow compete again. Are you ready for the individuals?
Absolutely. Ready to watch Ben Cumberland win it all tomorrow.
Also Kanada morgen auch wieder hier bei den Individual World Championships. Was für ein Team. Make some noise for Canada, the bronze medal winners here at the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championships 2023. And with having said that, it's back to the studio.
Beautiful work, Florty. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to see Ben Cumberland, I think, in the World Championships tomorrow, the individuals. But they were delighted, weren't they?
Yes.
Let's check out the slow motion action here. Lovely, smooth, calm start.
Yeah, Bill Bischoff with a really nice clean cut here to start things off for Team Canada. And here, I thought that this would be the battle that was going to be the deciding factor. But look at these guys are swing for swing with each other. And it was just one stroke difference there on the underhand chop. Now, as we went over to this particular discipline, Ben Cumberland,
New Zealand are in the lead of
super
this
strong.
stage.
But New Zealand wins this one, but it was a stroke and a half difference there. And then this is some angry cutting right here from Sterling Hart. You can see that he really wants to get through that block. And here's that final driver. And look at that. He was absolutely pumped by that last driver as he beat.
Oh, wonderful
It
shot.
almost felt like he beat New Zealand on his own on that one. It's such a great job.
Don't bring that axe down behind your teammate there.
Yeah.
I want to be very careful with that.
But
Safety first.
As Sterling did say, a lot of emotions here for these guys today. So, you know, like I said, this is going to be an event that all of these athletes are cutting for Jason Wynyard and the other fallen athletes in the last couple of years that have left us way too early.
Very well put. Thank you, sir. Indeed. Wow. We started off with 19 teams. We are left with 2. There will be only one winner from the United States and Australia. We were in Sweden a year ago, and the same 2 teams were in the final. This is the final heat of the afternoon. This is the Team World Championships 2023, the final. United States going up against Australia. We are going to see the dream team of Max Lingerland, Matt Kogar, Mark Buchan and Jason Lentz, and they will go up against the machines from Australia. Lawrence O'Toole, Braden Meyer will take the underhand chop. The single buck will go to the individual world championship champion Brad DeLosa, and the standing block chop will be Mitchell Argent. Oh my dearie, I cannot pick this one.
Yeah, it's anybody's guess, and I mean, there's no changes to the teams as they step out on stage for this final. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it's been working for both of these guys all day long. You know, at this point, it's a rematch from last year. The Americans have a little bit of a bug in their bonnet here because they definitely know they can beat the Australians. The Australians are always so solid. It's going to be a very, very interesting heat here, and let's get this one on.
Warm up your swords.
Reigning silver medalists, United States against reigning gold medalists, Australia. Here we go, this is the final.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Big start by Matthew Slingerland as he gets that saw moving nice and smooth. Lawrence O'Toole right there with him.
USA just ahead.
Just a half stroke ahead as they go to the underhand chop. Matt Kogar up against Braden Meyer, both moving over to the other side of their blocks, dead even with each other.
From both of them.
Oh my goodness. It's quick axes, but it's Braden Meyer getting through there first. Oh, and Matt Kogar had a couple more drivers to do it, so now it's going to come down to Mark Beauquin up against Brad DeLosa. Brad DeLosa, an absolute legend here in this one. Mark Beauquin trying to catch up. Brad DeLosa sent it over to Mitchell Argent, and Mitchell Argent is now up against Jason Lentz. Jason Lentz is a big boy. He's got some solid hits, but this is an angry Mitchell Argent going at that block on the second side. Jason Lentz a half to a 1 stroke behind. Is it going to be the USA, or is it going to be Australia again? It's going to be ever so close, but it's Australia doing it again. Australia, with an unbelievable performance, maintains the title of Team World Champion. How can it possibly be that these guys are so good every single time? The USA was right there with them. The time difference was minimal, and it is Australia taking out the US once again But the U.S., what a performance from these guys.
Oh, the USA, blow by blow, stroke by stroke. They were with them all the way, and then Australia just pulled away by fractions of seconds. 2.29 seconds the difference in total. That means that Australia will take the World Championships again. They were world champions in Sweden last year, and they will be crowned world champions again this year. Wow! I mean, America couldn't have put any more into that.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, I don't know how many world championships this is for Team Australia. I think it's like their 80th or something like that. It's ridiculous.
It is indeed the 8th World Championship in the team format from Australia. This is
Four in the last 4 years.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Commiserations to the United States. You've put on a great show, boys. Last minute handshakes for the new world champions.
Team Australia!
There is the final confirmation, if you needed it, that the winners of the Team World Championships 2023 are Australia again. That time in the final, the fastest time we have seen all day, 52.54 seconds. Mr. Mannering, can anyone beat this team?
I think the only way to do it is to poison the team before they arrive here. It's unbelievable. These guys are so solid, so good, so consistent. That's the thing. The consistency they have as a team is absolutely incredible.
It really is. So we saw the small final. That was Canada versus New Zealand. And of course, we've just seen the final. It was the United States, Australia, and Australia yet again for the 8th time. I repeat, the 8th time Team World Champions. And they brought some fans with them as well. Hey, say hello, Team Australia. Congratulations to all of you. You are welcome to deserve that and enjoy every moment of tonight. It was just neck and neck, Troy.
Well, I mean, Matthew Slingerland had the faster cut there by just a hair, and it got over to the underhand chop where Matt Kogar was right there with Braden Meyer, but it was like 3 strokes difference as then we head over to Mark Boquin for the USA and Brad DeLosa. And Brad DeLosa is just an absolute legend when it comes to the single buck. He has this thing on lockdown. Now, Mark Boquin was right there with them all the way along. And you could see any second now that cookie is going to drop for Brad DeLosa, and it heads over to a couple of absolute beasts when it comes to this. But look at how angry Mitch Argent is as he's attacking that block. Jason Lenz, I mean, the guy is an absolute monster himself. He's so big, so powerful, and he just, you know, maybe if his arms were a bit shorter, he'd be able to get those drivers in quicker. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one because if you look at the time Jason Lenz did on the standing block, it was quicker than Mitchell Argent's, but Mitch Argent had that extra second or so because of the single buck.
I was going to say it was fascinating that Lenz was faster than Mitchell, but it's a team game. These are the confirmations of the final results today. Norway finishing 10th place. Sweden, Switzerland, France, Poland make up the second 5. 5th place was Czech Republic today. New Zealand with 4th place. The bronze medal went to Canada. The silver medal went yet again to the United States, and for the 8th time, Australia will be crowned Team World Champions. Quite remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at some of these times here, comparing the United States and Australia as we see some of the other teams there. Romania followed up the field with Ireland and Hungary. We've seen a lot of good timber sports today, but these boys, the Americans and the Australians, they just seem to be in a different league, don't they?
Well, I don't know if a different league is fair to say. I mean, it's from an outsider's point of view, these two teams seem to be on a collision course with each other every single time.
That's true.
But I mean, it could have been Canada. It could have been New Zealand. It could have been the Czech Republic, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these teams were right there as far as the timing is concerned, but it's really about managing your assets when you're on the stage. And these the Australians just seem to have that on lockdown, and the Americans are right there. And, you know, they have a saying in sport, you got to learn to lose before you can learn to win.
Right.
And, you know, Australia has done their fair share of that in the past, but in the last 8, you know, times that they've won, they've always been consistently right there with each of the individual disciplines. And that's where they're really strong, is that management of their time and energy on stage.
The strategy as well, they've got the right guys doing the right things, haven't they? You know, they've got that absolutely manic speed of Meyer on the underhand chop. They get... Oh, I'm being told that we can go to Florty in the arena. He's always got something interesting to share with us. So I will gladly hand over to you, dear Markus, in the Porsche Arena in Stuttgart.
Well, that's very kind of you guys handing over to us. We can still feel the excitement. Sandy, I'm still sweating. I still have goosebumps on my arms. How was it for you? I mean, look at the crowd waiting for the winner's ceremony that is going to take place in just a few moments. I think everybody's just as excited as we are.
Yeah, I think goosebumps is the right word. Also Gänsehaut-Feeling hier in der Porsche Arena. Ihr seid ein großartiges Publikum, Stuttgart. Phänomenal! Ich hab's dir gesagt, die Stuttgarter, die geben Vollgas und das ist wirklich das, was die Teams auch motiviert hat. Das haben wir in den Interviews gehört, ja. Die Teams haben gesagt, das hat sie richtig angepeitscht, das habt ihr richtig geil gemacht. Ja, und jetzt kommen wir gleich zu den Champagne Showers, Floti.
Absolutely, you can see behind us the setup is almost ready. As soon as we get the go, we're going to call the teams here onto the podium, and I've just been told we are ready for the winner's ceremony. So let me ask Porsche Arena in Stuttgart one more time. Are you guys ready to cheer and shout for our champions? Are you ready to shout for bronze, silver and gold?
Wo ist die Porsche Arena? Alle Fahnen nach oben und noch einmal richtig Vollgas geben. Wir kommen jetzt nämlich zur Winner Ceremony. Bronze, Silber, Gold. Die Weltmeister sehen wir gleich hier auf der Bühne. Die alten Weltmeister, die neuen Weltmeister zum 4. Mal. Aber jetzt gehört erstmal das Wort Floti für die Bronzemedaille.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dear STIHL Timbersports fans, welcome to the winner ceremony of the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2023. Please welcome on the stage the bronze medalists. Give it up for the team of Canada! Bronzemedaille bei den STIHL Timbersports Team World Championships 2023 in Stuttgart, in der Porsche Arena. Hier sind sie, das Team aus Kanada! Time to hand over the bronze medals. Please give it up for Jenny Palumbo from Ford Marketing. And how beautiful are these medals? How precious are they? Handed over by one of our dear partners, Ford Marketing, Jenny Palumbo. Sandy, das sind die Momente.
Ja, das ist ein besonderer Moment. Weltmeisterschaft, Bronzemedaille. Sie haben gekämpft, sie haben am Ende das kleine Finale dann für sich entscheiden können und ja, von bester Seite gezeigt, muss man so schon sagen. Und zu Recht natürlich auch den Applaus hier in der Porsche Arena bekommen. Und den gibt es jetzt nochmal von unserem Stuttgarter Publikum. STIHL Timbersports Weltmeisterschaft 2023, Bronze-Medalist Team Canada.
It is time to meet the silver medalists. Stuttgart Porsche Arena, put your hands together for Team USA! How amazing have they performed on this night, making it to the podium. Maybe not that happy now, but trust me, when they watch the performance tomorrow, they will be very proud of the silver medals that will be handed over now by Joachim Strobel, Managing Director of Liebherr. Here come the silver medals. What a precious moment in this sold-out arena in Stuttgart.
Ja, sie waren nah dran, das muss man schon sagen. Und das ist, du hast es gesagt, wird immer so dieser Moment,
Der zweite Sieger ist eben der zweite Sieger und irgendwo der erste Verlierer. Sagen Sie sich jetzt, wir sehen das ganz anders. Sie haben phänomenal gekämpft, Sie haben wirklich einen tollen Wettbewerb abgeliefert und Sie hätten die Goldmedaille auch verdient. Das ist Silber geworden und das ist schon wirklich ganz, ganz besonders.
Und eines haben Sie sich ganz sicher verdient. Unseren Respekt und nochmal einen riesen Applaus für den Silver Medalist, Team USA!
Wow, jetzt, Flotti.
Es wird Zeit für den alten und neuen Champion. The old and new STIHL Timbersports Team World Champions. 4 times in a row. Stuttgart, Porsche Arena, shout and scream for the STIHL Timbersports Team World Champions for the team of Australia! The gladiators arriving on top of the podium. What a moment as they receive their gold medals from Sarah Gewertz, STIHL Executive Board Member, Marketing and Sales. And look at the proud faces, what a moment.
Ja, und tolle Sportsmänner natürlich auch, die Zweit- und Drittplatzierten, die gleich gratulieren. Das haben sie vorhin schon getan, jetzt nochmal. Und das ist jetzt der ganz, ganz besondere Moment, wo Weltmeister gekürt werden. Nicht zum ersten Mal, nicht zum zweiten, nicht zum dritten, auch nicht zum vierten Mal. Die haben schon ein paar Mal vorher gewonnen, aber zum 4. Mal hintereinander. 4 times in a row.
Und das sind diese Momente, wo sie sogar die Kappe abnehmen und voller Stolz die Goldmedaille umgehängt bekommen. It's one of those moments you never forget. Absolutely brilliant feeling to stand here in front of a shouting crowd in the sold-out Porsche Arena in Stuttgart. The gold medalists awaiting one more thing, and that of course is the STIHL Timbersports Team World Champions Trophy, handed over by Selina Stihl, Vice Chairman of STIHL Advisory and Supervisory Board. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the trophy. Stuttgart, make some noise for the World Champions!
Australien bekommt sie überreicht, die Trophäe. Und jetzt wollen wir euch alle noch einmal hören für die neuen Weltmeister. Australien, STIHL Timbersports World Championship 2023. Wow. Und jetzt gleich was ganz Besonderes.
What an unbelievable moment. Beautiful scenes. And now we would like to ask every single one of you to rise and stand if they can. I can see most of you already standing. Bitte stehen Sie und erheben Sie sich für die Nationalhymne der Weltmeister. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the STIHL Timbersports Team World Champions, the national anthem of Australia. Time for champagne shower. Look at the athletes going wild. Stuttgart, you have been absolutely amazing. And it is plain to see our athletes had a ball.
Das sind die Bilder, die wir gerne sehen. Sie feiern alle zusammen, sie feiern sich und man muss sagen, alle 19 Teams haben wirklich eine bärenstarke Leistung abgeliefert. Respect for the 19 teams here competing at the STIHL Timbersports World Championship 2023. But these are the winners: Australia, USA and Canada, gold, silver and bronze medalists here in Stuttgart in der Porsche Arena.
Und nicht vergessen, morgen geht es dann auch schon weiter mit den Individual World Championships. Make sure to stick around. Hopefully you bought things for both days. As we, of course, are going to go with a winner's interview. Sandy is reaching out to one of our champions.
Smelling a little bit after champagne here. Congratulations, how does it feel to be the former world champion and the new world champion?
Yeah, it's a great honour, to be honest. Our team's going really well together, and I'd like to thank STIHL Australia and all the boys. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, and let's talk about this massive audience here. A big crowd and a big atmosphere here, right?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a big atmosphere, and love competing in situations like this, so I feel our team just rises to the occasion. We just built all day, and it was great to be able to get the win.
How motivating is it for you when you see this audience and see the people and hear it cheering and all this stuff?
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's what I chop for and why I do timber sports. So thank you.
How do you celebrate tonight?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, our team's pretty good at celebrating, so we'll be going out for sure.
So, have fun. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Und damit gehen wir dann auch gleich wieder zurück ins Studio. Back to the studio. Wir sehen uns morgen wieder. Und noch einmal ein großer Applaus für unsere Teams.
Absolutely fantastic scenes here in the Porsche Arena. I love the response to the last question. Will you be celebrating tonight? Yeah, we're pretty good at
it. They've had enough practice. I mean, come on. 8 times? Really?
Unbelievable. 4 times in a row. Fantastic. Congratulations one final time to Australia. Thank you to you, sir. It's always a pleasure. We'll do this again tomorrow.
Yes, we will. Individual World Championship. Oh, yes, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, that'll be the Individual World Championships. And remember, by all of these championships, it's always about the medal round your neck at the end of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Cheers.
Take care, everybody. Ciao.